Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, a Tuesday edition. It's football week, guys.
Well,
we finally have football.
It's been football.
I know, it's been college football, and that's great.
The Buckeyes played.
We'll talk about the Buckeyes, yes, but real football, NFL football. It was a great, I'm just kidding. Listen, it was a great weekend of minor league football, but now it's time for the professionals. Let's go.
This dude, he couldn't wait 5 seconds.
I like college football.
He off the hook,
man.
If St. John's had a football team,
oh, it'd be big.
He'd be all into it.
He'd be watching Seton Hall football. Seton Hall football is wild.
What's more embarrassing right now, the way Arch Manning played or the overhype of Matt Patricia? More embarrassing right now. All of a sudden, Matt Patricia couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag in the NFL. Now he's a genius based on one game.
No. Nobody ever
genius.
said he was a bad
Take that
DC.
stupid pencil out of here, Matt Patricia.
Hey, who owned the weekend? Bill Belichick. TCU?
Oh, he blew it.
The 40 spot?
He's too busy hooking up with 12-year-olds. I mean, he's busy.
Now, listen. I did not condone. I just got
All
back.
right, she's 18. What can I tell you?
She's 24.
What's the difference? Does it matter if she's 18 or 24?
I mean,
legal.
once you hit 18, like that's
right. She's legal. That's all he can.
She pays taxes. She can buy alcohol or go to the military.
You think she pays taxes? She probably doesn't pay taxes.
Well, they get married, so.
Yeah.
They say she's I'm sure it's very smart for her age.
Absolutely, she's nothing.
That's the compliment you give.
I mean, honestly,
one of your best friends that their kid is 8.
Next to true love in the dictionary is a picture of those two. There's no doubt about it. We got a lot to get to today, and I'm just busting chops on the Buckeyes. Yeah. Although they played great, actually. I thought they played great. Yeah, but Matt Patricia, let's take it down a notch. He did a good job, but let's not get carried away by how much of a genius he is. Everybody's like, well, of course he's going to be great in college because he's used to going against men. Well, so's Bill Belichick, and he lost.
So what the thing about
has to do with the talent, not the coach.
The thing about that is, and a lot of people that transition from the NFL to college, they realize, because in the NFL, it's always, I have to come up with a way to stop this guy.
Yeah.
You know, I got to, they got this, they're doing this, so we got to dictate our coverage or our scheme to take away this.
I loved it.
And what happens is, when you go to college, you realize, well, this is Ohio State. We just got better talent. So
that's it. Way better talent.
That guy's just going to beat
Ohio
that guy.
State's
And that's
defense
take care
is so
the
talented.
thing that you're so worried about. It's a guy that's going to just do something crazy to make the play. You're going to be like, oh, well, there you go.
I did see something that was creepy. I saw something. I was like, oh, this is nasty work. I seen him have somebody act like he blitzed.
The coffee blitz.
And then turn his body.
Hit him with the
like
coffee
he was
break.
looking for
Hit him with the
he was looking for number 2. I said, oh, this is what y'all doing now?
Hit him with the coffee break.
Meanwhile,
they emptied the cover out of Arch.
Meanwhile, Arch Manning's become the whipping boy for everybody
They said Uncle Rico.
Everybody that's mad about Shedeur Sanders' situation is now taking it out on Arch Manning. And they're both victims of this whole thing. It's so silly.
I keep trying to tell you, this is what happens when you can be prognosticating. Next year is where our Savior comes from.
Well, listen.
He shall walk on water next year.
Jimmy and AB was at the game.
He was posted at the game.
And they wasn't there to see Julius saying.
First of all, I don't think anybody's been saying Arch Manning was the Savior.
Oh, it was
because everybody thought he was going to stay in college another year. Number
Who
two.
said that?
I
said
or
that.
His grandfather did.
But he claimed he shot that down.
Number two, one game doesn't mean he can't play. I mean,
I agree.
I
agree with
We'll
you.
do a whole topic on this.
It certainly
There we go.
All right, we'll get to it later.
Boy didn't read the rundown.
I read the rundown.
He had to get it in.
We will get to the Guardians later. And George Valera. See, I read the rundown. Even
No.
who cares?
The
reality is Mike
texted you
called
that
me to
yesterday,
ask about
too.
George
Who
Valera.
cares about George Valera?
You were obsessed with him for a while.
I should have
Yeah,
put my
was.
Santa hat on. That's what I should have did.
But, of course, we got to talk.
Tyvis, Big Christmas gave up a home run yesterday.
Yeah.
That's
He
crazy.
didn't hit a home run. He literally gave one to Boston.
It was his first game back. It's back action, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
he
come
stinks.
on.
We'll get to that. But And the Guardians are pretty much out of it after they blew that last game against the Mariners and then lost yesterday.
I got one thing I have to share before we dive into topics.
What do you
today.
got?
So I went to the Poconos this weekend for a little college. Me and my college buddies, we've done this for 4 years now. Every Labor Day we get together.
Yeah.
What you mean?
What is the
When did you
Poconos?
go? You just slid to the Poconos.
I left
not
after
that
the show
far.
It's a 5-hour drive. It's not that far. Yeah. Just the real quick
Pennsylvania.
was there for 2 days.
What do you mean that's not that far?
5 hours is not that far.
Yes, it is.
Crazy.
All right. Well,
Well, it was driving
a long
distance.
weekend.
Yeah. So we're in the
Yeah.
Poconos. We went out to dinner on Saturday, early, like around 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And all my friends know what I do. The beauty of getting back and hanging out with your college friends is it doesn't matter what any of us do now. We have some people who are doing some really, really cool things in professional sports and whatever they're doing. We don't care. They are still the same people we went to college with, and we still act and treat each other like you went to college. Our waiter watches UCSS. Our waiter was thrilled. Took a picture with them. Top part of our tab. I have never
Was he from
been
Cleveland, the guy?
I don't even know where he's from. He just was a big Browns fan, big Cavs fan. I'm guessing his family in the area. I have never been cooler in my friends' eyes than I was for that 10-minute stretch when our waiter, shout out to Steve, recognized me. And for somebody in a friend group of all athletes, and we all have we're all egotistical guys. It was the most humbling situation for them ever.
Nice.
And it goes to show the power of UCSS and the people who watch UCSS. And we appreciate all of you. So if you do see us out, say what's up. It's always a good interaction, and it can go a long way in making sure everyone else understands the power of what we've created.
And you're right, and kudos to you and to that guy for recognizing you. And before we get to what's going to be a lot of Browns conversation heading into their first game, G. Bush also went away this past week.
Yeah, how was Chicago, G?
And I just found out that it was his first time in Chicago. I mean, first time, like, vacationing in Chicago. You played football there.
We played Northwestern there.
But you got blown away by the lake.
Bro.
Ain't it nice?
It's amazing.
It's nice.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem we be having. There's a levels to this thing. How do we have a great lake here? We got one.
It don't look like that, do it?
And it ain't. We got rocks, a stadium, and an old airport that nobody don't use. You go to Chicago, they got restaurants, they got parks, they got theaters, they got amusement rides, it's just bustling. Beaches, they got
trails,
people,
all that.
They got people move, and I be trying to tell people, I'm like, listen, man, there's levels to this, man. Their collective mindset is just different. Like, that's why it's important to travel and go see the world, because you come back and it don't gotta mean like you gotta hate your city or whatever. You know, I love where I'm from, but you come back with an energy like, nah, bro, it don't take 35 years to put something up on a lake, bro. Come on, man. It's 30, 40 years. You looking around, I'm like, this is wild to me. And the thing that I also loved is I love the level of diversity. Like, we were taking Ubers. Now, mind you, it's a big black dude, a really small Filipino woman, and two black people from the civil rights movement. So we walking around. Was in an Uber with Russian people.
Y'all weren't wearing all black, was you?
No, I told my dad change that.
Okay.
Change that Panther stuff. You got to blend in around here, bro. So we moving around, and I love the fact that every single car I got into, it was a different language. It was a different radio station. It was different music. And everybody was so super nice. And everybody, you notice this about cities. Why in big cities do they be walking with urgency? Yeah, it be in the weekend. They walking with purpose. Like, I got to be somewhere. And you're like, dang, bro, where you going, man?
And the truth is, people like to knock big cities. There's a lot of nice people in big cities. There's a lot of diversity, which I love. I've been to New York City and Toronto in the last few weeks. You've been to Chicago. They're three of the four biggest cities between America and Canada. Only LA is in that top four. And they're great cities. And all this, like right now, there's a lot of people stirring nonsense up. Oh, big cities are dangerous. No, they're not. I mean, there can be danger in big cities, just like there can be danger anywhere else. But most people walking around big cities, I've never been worried in my life in New York or Chicago. I'm not worried.
Oh, man.
I don't walk around worried in the city that something's going to happen.
Nah, I didn't go to O Block or nothing.
You better not. You didn't go to 63rd?
I didn't go to 63rd. Listen, I didn't go to 63rd.
I've been to 63rd.
STLEBT. Like, come on, man. I can't do. No, but listen, but it was great. It was fun. Yeah, big cities, like people, it's a lot of people that be scared because there's a lot of people around. But nice people, great food, great time.
Awesome. That's it.
That
All
was
right, let's get to
concise.
some
That was
Browns
crisp.
football.
Guys,
we're 2 days away from
2
Thursday
days.
Night Football to start
That's
the season.
crazy.
We're
2 days.
5 days away from the first Browns game of the year.
Crazy.
And
1
it is
p.m.
the first UCSS of the 2025 Week 1 through Week 18 football schedule.
Yeah.
Football is in the air, guys. It is incredible.
Traditionally, we start this week by going 4 wide on the panel.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we're only
Yeah,
doing
why
that
did we not do
twice.
that?
I was looking for
Dustin,
I was waiting.
Dustin was supposed to be the 4th today,
Yeah,
and he's
Dustin
away.
is.
He's coming back this afternoon.
exactly. So
He
Dustin's
has
here
unlimited
tomorrow.
honey.
We are 4 wide
Yeah,
tomorrow to
Oh,
kick
Max
off the
just
official
started.
football start. But guys, let's dive into topics today. We got a jam-packed show. Before we do that, a reminder that today's show is brought to you by Upside. Are you still paying full price for gas? Well, stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the Upside app in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash at the pump. Use our limited time promo. The code is touchdown, and you get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill-up. You can make up to $300 a year back from buying gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive by. Download the free Upside app now by using our limited time promo code TOUCHDOWN for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That is promo code TOUCHDOWN. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Bull, Tyvis, and G, our first topic of our first show of the official football season
Oh, thankfully.
is simple. We have talked at length about Joe Flacco. He is officially the Browns starting quarterback in 2025, and a lot of people seem to be convinced that Joe Flacco this year will be a carbon copy of the Joe Flacco the Browns got for that final playoff push back in 2023. If you look at the numbers since Joe Flacco left Baltimore, and Ant, you can take this full if you want, Joe Flacco's numbers in Cleveland and everywhere else since Baltimore, so 2019, 2020, 21, 22, and 24, the numbers are relatively similar. However, the win-loss record is drastically different. He went 4-1 in his 5 starts with Cleveland. Everywhere else, he's 5-18. So, Bull,
The 5-18, I assume, does not include the 4-1?
does not include the 4-1. That
Okay.
is every other start he made for a team since Baltimore, not named the Browns. So, Bull, are you convinced we are going to get a repeat of 2023 from Joe Flacco this season as the starter? Or are you less convinced and think the bigger track record says it may not be that high level of play?
I mean, as you said, if you look at the numbers overall, they don't look that much different percentage-wise, except for the wins and losses. And the wins and losses, 5 games is a small sample size. Joe did some good things here. Joe didn't play great in those 5 games. He had his moments where he played well, but 8 interceptions in 5 games is terrible. Now, he threw a million touchdowns. We were all caught up in what was going on. The Browns probably shouldn't have been that good that year. They were overachieving, and we all got caught up in because when the Browns added Joe Flacco, you didn't expect anything. He hadn't played well before that. He was out of the league for the rest of that year, and he came out flinging the ball all over the field. He put up a ton of yardage. He threw a bunch of touchdowns, but he threw a bunch of picks. What he did, the way he played, you're not going to, over a long haul, you can't consistently win playing the way he has played, even the way he played here, even though they did win 4 or 5. So I'm expecting Joe for a couple of weeks to be able to sling the ball around. He'll throw some touchdowns. He'll throw some picks. But there's no way at 40 years old, when he has not been a regular starter in a decade almost, not quite a decade, but a long time, that he's going to be able to consistently play at a high level. And again, I don't think he played at a high level here in my opinion. I think he played better than average, but he wasn't great. We're so not used to seeing big passing numbers from Browns quarterbacks that we ignored all the negatives. I think that's what happened. So I think we'll have some games like that, but eventually there's no way he's going to be able to keep it up and sustain that for a year. It's just not possible.
So how many games is he the starter?
I thought all along 4 to 6.
It's nostalgia is a funny thing. When you look back at something, you could be 40-something years old. You get to a point right now, and you look back and say, "Man, I wish I was a kid again."
Oh yeah,
yeah. But then you go back, and then you have to really start listening what you had to do as a kid. Like waking up at 6 a.m, going to school is not cool. No. Eating vegetables when you don't want to. How your mom gonna tell you to eat vegetables? I don't want vegetables. I should be able to just decline that. Like, come on, bro, I don't want those today. Yeah. Like, just random things that happen when you were a little kid. And you start to think, maybe being a kid wasn't that dope after all. Maybe there were some ups and downs. I just remember the good stuff. With Joe Flacco, we had such terrible quarterback play with your boy, P.J. Walker, DTR. Wow. They was winning, they was coasting, and then they was getting over the fact, Deshaun Watson, it was a deflation because we was like, he was playing well, and then now he got hurt, and then now we got Joe Flacco. Let's see what he could do. And he came out for the first 3 or 4 games and threw for 300 yards. But if you want to see what the upside and the downside is, just go back and watch the Houston Texans game. Go back and watch the playoff game, and it gives you the ups when you watch the Jets game and on that primetime game throwing the ball, and then you get the downs, Tyvis. You get the 3 interceptions, the 2 pick sixes, and you're like, wow, this game was over before we even started. So I think you have to caution yourself to say, I can't naturally just believe that he's going to give me those many upside games in terms of winning or losing. And by the way, one of those games of those 5-18, the Cleveland Browns made the worst blunder in NFL history by letting somebody come back. What are they down? The Jets was down 20-some points or something.
Yep. And
the Cleveland Browns let them come back with Joe Flacco at home. So he probably would have won 4 games. So yes, there's a possibility he plays well, but
Tyvis, you talking about the 2-minute thing?
Yeah.
No, that was Joe Flacco was the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, he was
quarterback. Right. That's what I'm saying. He should have lost that game.
Yeah.
He's talking about his non-Browns
his non-Browns wins, right? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, do you expect him to like come out and just be crazy? Like, you gonna be throwing for 300? You gonna keep doing that, or what's the deal?
So I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? This Sunday, I expect him to be on fire. I think he's gonna have probably the best game he's gonna have all season. Why? Because he needs to. The fact that you're going up against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I know that they play offense and he plays offense, but the competitor in him is going to want to show, like, I'm 40, but I can still sling this thing. I can still get 300 yards. So I expect him to be on fire. However, when you see the rest of that schedule after that game right there, defenses get a little bit better. And I just think there's going to be some moments that they're going to bait him into him throwing some interceptions. Not saying that he's not going to be productive, but the interceptions, I believe, will turn up in those games. And it's going to cause some frustration. And I think that's, at some point, that's where it's going to fall off the cliff. So I'm not expecting this unbelievable version of Joe Flacco. What I do expect him to do is give the team a sense of confidence, and I think everything's going to go really well in week 1. I really do. Baltimore, he's going to be extremely motivated because that's where he used to play. So he's going to try to play as hard, and I think he's going to overdo it and make some mistakes in that game, and I think they're going to feed off of that. And then it's going to be dicey coming back because now he had a good game, he had a bad game. The narrative is the 40-year-old guy, is the age finally catching up to him? And I think when they play the Packers, I think that he's going to have some opportunities in that game to make some big throws. But that pass rush is going to be a little bit better now that they got Micah Parsons. I don't really trust their secondary too much. I think they just decent. So I think there will be chances for him to make a play. But I think after that it falls off. I think about week 4, they roll with him for the Lions. He starts to look like he regressed. Week 5, they force it a little bit more. And I think they make the switch about for week 5, week 6. I think is when they make the switch at the quarterback position. That's my expectations, and that's the version of Joe that I think we're going to see this year.
The problem with this is there's some other things, and we will talk about it later on in the show. There's some other things that I think are red flags that will hinder Joe Flacco from being more consistent. The thing that I look at is, and I'm scared to death about, is this running game. Like, the play action game is great when you can hand the ball off and you can get 4 or 5 yards. I ain't seen the Cleveland Browns in 3 years hand the ball off and get 3-4 yards at will. Some of the run plays, I don't know what they're trying to really do. Are they gap scheme? Are they zone scheme? Outside zone? I didn't see much of what the run game was supposed to be in the preseason. Obviously, they don't like to show too much. But, the offensive line and can you run the football is going to play a great deal of impact on whether Joe Flacco can really sustain or play multiple weeks, because he needs a good running game. You can't have him sitting back there and it's 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 15 or 3rd and 8. That's not you can't sustain that. So I'm looking at this run game and I want to see how that translates, because they have to run the football, and I haven't seen that in a while.
Well, to be fair, when he was here the last time, Nick Chubb had already got hurt. But the only big difference is just a coaching change. Who was the O-line coach that went to Tennessee?
Bill Callahan.
Bill Callahan is gone.
Right.
So that's that's the major difference from when he was here the first time and where he is now.
Yeah, new OC
they
also.
got a new OC, new offensive line coach, because they fired Andy Dickerson last year. So will those guys gel? Are they going to be able to create run situations like Bill Callahan did? Can they have these offensive line groomed up? Because there are going to be injuries at some point of this season. That's just the nature of the game.
Yep.
When that next person rolls in, will they still be able to pick it up? Because if you remember, Joe, when he was here 2 years ago, we was down to our 3rd and 4th string tackles.
Right. See, Joe has enough of what I call one of those arms where Joe can still make a lot of throws that a lot of people can't. And Joe has the cachet that he'll throw the ball in areas where if you had a rookie or a quarterback that's a young guy, you would tell him, do not ever throw that backside. Joe's just going to throw that. At this point, he don't care. So that's how he ends up with some interceptions. But when you do that, you can open up the game a little bit and you can get the ball moving, because he's always one shot away from throwing a deep ball. That's how Amari Cooper caught, was a flash in the pan, because he was just like, yeah, listen, hey, Amari, we're going to go deep and we're going to get these chunk plays. But if you can't consistently matriculate the ball downfield, and especially if you don't have a home run threat where you can get quick points, it's an uphill battle if you can't run the ball. I'm waiting to see what Jerome Ford is going to do. And have we got anything on Ethan Pochich? Before I left,
I think he's going to be okay.
He practiced in limited capacity yesterday, but was on the right side, trending in the right direction of being able to play on Sunday.
You have your starting center. You don't want to be going with the backup center.
Whoa, we got Luke. We good. Go Bucks.
Stop it.
Luke Whippler fan in the building.
Yeah, okay.
Luke Whippler going to be the starting center next year, so you might as well get him.
How's Billy Price looking these days?
Billy's doing well.
Are you friends with him?
I am friends with Billy. Billy's doing well.
The bust he was.
Hey, he got
what
paid.
happened to Mango?
Billy got paid, and Billy has a great family, and he's living good. Unfortunately, he had the health conditions, and that's why he had to retire.
All right.
He's doing
well.
Glad
he's doing well. All right, Mike.
We can move on. One last question on Flacco, and then we'll get to our next topic here. But for people who are convinced that it'll be a copy and paste, you kind of alluded to it earlier, Bull, that even that style of play, it's hard to win. And the record kind of shows.
If you look at who they played during that stretch versus who they're going to play in the first 5 games this year, if he's throwing 2-3 picks a game, they're not going to win any of these games. I don't care if he throws 4 touchdowns.
They'll win the first one.
I'm not even. Here's what I'm saying.
You think if he throws 2 picks in this game, they're going to win against the Bengals?
Hey, I know.
Good luck.
I know. See, this is the thing, boy. Yeah. I'll give credit to this.
That's the Homer Cincinnati fan.
I do not do homers.
Yes, it is.
I don't believe in homers.
They overcome two.
I don't believe in homerism. I don't believe in homerism.
I understand that y'all saw the Bengals struggle on defense in preseason. I get that.
Man, did they?
But come on, bro. People acting like this the worst defense people have
it's
ever
crazy.
seen. Like once again, I've been showing the hypocrisy and choosing what you believe in preseason. On one hand, preseason don't matter because it's on your team.
Yeah.
But when it was on another team, bro. What?
Who do they have outside of Trey? Name me somebody outside of Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart.
Here's
Logan Wilson's not a good player.
I'm not talking to you.
I don't got to know the players. I ask him.
Name me somebody outside of
There's
those 2 days.
Here's what I'm gonna say to you.
Yeah.
And retort. If you on Cincinnati's defense, they're gonna say, name me one receiver besides Jerry Jeudy.
That's fair.
Name me any running backs. Name me.
Oh, well, they can name you that.
Who? Jerome Ford?
He there.
Now
you said name.
Listen,
I ain't
what
say
I-
he was
They
good.
are
I
not
ain't say he
scared.
was
What
good.
I'll
I
say,
said
and
name.
G is right. Listen, the Bengals defense last year was terrible.
It's not that good, but
It was actually better the second half of last year, and not surprisingly, they won their last 6 games. It was too late, obviously. I don't think their defense is going to be good this year, but I do think it'll be a little better than it was last year, and that's all they need. This idea, and G is right. And listen, who knows? Maybe the Browns score 40 points this week. Nothing would surprise me. But this idea that because the Bengals defense looked terrible in the preseason means it's a short thing, they're terrible, is beyond
But
stupid.
they didn't look just terrible in the preseason. They looked terrible all last season.
But they improved as the season went along.
here's all I'm saying is listen, I learned my lesson last year. I'm not chalking nobody up. If they're on the schedule, I'm not chalking up no wins. Or they're terrible. We should dominate this. No.
First of all, we're not in a position to do that.
Thank you. We are not.
The Browns are
We are the team that everybody
The Browns are.
I just want to come in.
The Browns
and
are the least, according to the odds this morning, the least likely team in football to win their division. They're -3. They're plus 3,000 to win the North.
Hey, I'm just watching games at this point.
Yeah,
you just.
You
Hey,
saying
I want
that
to see.
like
I
we
want to
done
see.
went out and got Patty or something. We ain't in no position to
I just
talk
want to.
anything.
I want to
coming
just
from
see
them.
what
All
y'all
right, Mike,
gonna
speaking
do.
of the Bengals defense, let's get to some of these things here.
Yeah, this leads us right into our next topic. Our next topic is brought to us by Yahoo Fantasy. Today is the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Fantasy Draft. We got Evan 419 in studio for the live draft this afternoon. We are going back to using the Yahoo Fantasy app for our fantasy football league, which is by far the best decision we have ever made. If you guys haven't drafted already, time is ticking, but you can still get in all the action on Yahoo to celebrate 28 years of fantasy greatness. Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big features over the next couple of days, giving you more ways to play, more ways to draft, and more ways to begin. Stay tuned and get started by creating or joining a Yahoo Fantasy Football League at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. That is yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL, and let's make this season the best one yet. All right, guys. I scoured the interweb over the last couple of days, finding some of the most talked about parts of this matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals to kick off week 1. So I'm going to give you guys some of these storylines. You tell me if you're buying into them or if you're selling them. Simple concept, simple buy or sell. I give you the storyline. You tell me whether you think they're real or they're a load of hooey. Let's start with the first one. Buying or selling this. The Bengals always start off slow bowl, so that favors the Browns on Sunday. Does the past slow starts for Cincinnati have any impact on what's going to happen in 2025 or no? What say you, Bull?
I mean, you could argue that it has in the past. I think the biggest difference, and if the Bengals don't play great on Sunday, it wouldn't shock me. But the biggest difference this year from any other year, this is the first time that Joe Burrow has played in the preseason. First time in his career. In 2020, it was COVID. And then 2021, he was coming off the knee injury. 2022, I can't remember what the injury was, but he had a slow. He didn't.
Was it the appendix?
That was 23.
It was the Achilles, wasn't it?
Was 2022 yes, that's
Yes.
right. 2022, he didn't tear his Achilles, but he was dealing with
It was tender or something.
It was a tender Achilles at the beginning of the season. 23, he had the emergency appendix right as training camp started. 24, he's coming off the wrist surgery.
Yeah, the wrist thing.
This is the first offseason that there's been no COVID. He's fully healthy. And there's plus, last year you had Jamar Chase was not practicing because he was kind of holding in. Didn't have any of that. And he played in 2 preseason games. So I would expect the Bengals offense, which on paper is probably the best in football, one of the best in football, to be better in week 1 than they've been in years past. But it's a hump they've got to get over. It's a legit storyline. It's a legit thing to bring up that they've been crap to start. I think they've gone 0-2 to start the year, either 3 or 4 years in a row. I can't remember how many it's been. I know it's at least 3. So it's a fair thing to bring up, whether it's going to matter this time.
You buying it? Or you selling
I'm not worried about it, no.
You selling it?
But, yes, I am selling it. However, I was selling it last year, and they lost. So,
Man,
who knows?
To me, it's gambler's fallacy, man. Hey, listen, just because I bet on black 6 times does not mean that the 7th time is more possible that red is going to come up.
It's fair.
That's a good point.
So, for me, this is a random sample size. Guess what? The Bengals are different. They got different people on the team. It's a different year. It's a different everything. So the past results don't really statistically or historically mean that the Bengals are going to come out because they did it the last couple of years and come out and just lay an egg. I would rather rely on the fact of over the long haul, Joe Burrow is really good. And I would then put my money on the fact that he'll probably be really good this game or somewhere in a realm where it puts them in a position that they'll have a competitive game. So, no, I'm not buying it. Again, I'm game the game. You got to come out and prove it. You got to come out and show it. No, I'm not buying the Bengals are going to somehow look at last year and be like, oh, we're going to be trashed tomorrow. No, I don't believe it.
Well, it makes it a clean sweep then because I'm selling it as well for the simple fact that, you know, all these other years, the Joe Burrow thing was a big deal. I think that him going out in the preseason and them looking already in midseason form in the preseason, don't get me wrong, I know it's the preseason, I know what y'all going to say, but for them to look the way that they look, him and Jamar in that preseason game, I was like, yeah, they ready to go. So I think for them, they are heavy emphasizing trying to look good in week 1, and I think they will on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, obviously that's going to be a struggle because Trey Hendrickson missed all of camp.
Most of it.
Shamar Stewart, I think no.
He signed about a week late.
A week later, something like that. So I just think it's going to
You think he's going to be good?
I think that he will benefit from Trey Hendrickson. I think that everybody, because his thing is he does a really good job at getting pressure, but he doesn't get sacks. So what if the pressure, if he's good at getting pressure, that means he's getting there. What if the quarterback is so busy eluding Trey that he runs into him?
Yeah, right.
Like, that could help him out a lot.
And as a defensive lineman, with 2 guys haven't played a lot, you know, September is still kind of warm outside.
Yeah.
And the worst thing you could do as a defensive lineman is be hot, out of shape, and they running the football. What the Browns don't want to get into an issue is they get in 3rd and long, and now you can bring them dudes in, and they could just rush the passer. That's easy. Everybody want to rush the passer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they got to make sure that they stay within manageable downs of distance so they can mix it up. But, conditioning may be an issue if they can keep them on long drives.
Honestly, I'd be so much more confident that the Browns will win this game if Quinshawn was playing. Yeah. Like, the fact that they're not, because I think about, you know, how DJ Reader isn't there. I don't know who's the defensive tackle?
B.J. Hill and
is it Osai?
Probably will be a starter. I'm not sure who's the
that's
second
what I'm saying.
starter.
Like, I feel like they missing an opportunity to be able to run the ball effectively down the middle because DJ Reader was like the Nick Chubb stopper. Like, he was in there like Nick Chubb couldn't even run the ball. So I feel like if they had that run, not saying that Dylan Sampson and Jerome Ford can't or won't, but that's just typically not their thing.
Yeah, that's
like
not.
They're more zone, outside zone type of guys. So.
And listen, when you go back and people always say they want to run what Stefanski wants to run. Stefanski runs. Go back and look and really go back and drill down in 2020, 2021, 2022. Go back and look at them. The Cleveland Browns were in the top 10 in attempts, yards per carry, average. That's what they was built on.
Yeah.
So now you're like, okay, we'll just go back to that. Well, it's easier said than done. You need guys that can get you those yards. You need Jerome Ford to be able to get you 3 yards when somebody's unblocked.
Nick Chubbs don't grow on trees.
No, they do not at all.
All right, Mike, what's the second storyline?
The second storyline, something we kind of talked about a little earlier. And Tyvis, I'll let you start on this one because you brought it up. But the second storyline I want to know if you are buying or selling is this. Cincinnati's defense is atrocious. The Browns may not have the world's greatest offense, but they'll be able to move the ball and score at will against these guys. Ty, you buying into the fact that the Bengals defense may be as bad as it looked at certain points of the preseason?
I was feeling this entire quote until the score at will part.
Yeah, there you go.
That kind of
At will.
That's a little too
Isn't
far.
the Browns' offense atrocious too?
Even me, that's too far to be able
Yeah.
to say that. So I was buying. If you take out that part, I buy the rest of that sentence. Listen, man, I think that when you got a new defensive coordinator in there, it takes time. I think the Browns was special because when they got Jim Schwartz, you immediately seen the impact. But they also had generational talent. You had the key things that you need on defense. You had the defensive end. You seen JOK take it to the next level, and you had Denzel Ward. Those are like 3 key things that you need on every level, and the Browns had that. When you look at Cincinnati, they got Logan Wilson, they got Trey Hendrickson. Everybody else is a question mark. I don't really know who the heck is out there.
Can't you say the same thing about the Browns?
No, I can't.
Besides Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward?
No.
Who's also is not a question mark?
I know Malik Collins is good. I know Alex
Is
Wright
Malik
is
Collins
good.
any better than B.J. Hill?
Yeah. He's a good player.
So-
Listen,
I don't
I'm
know.
telling y'all
Yeah.
right now, Malik Collins gonna make some plays. Y'all
All
gonna
right.
be like, where this guy coming? Don't be like, well, Tyvis been told y'all that.
Yeah.
That's
All
not
right.
the guy, defensive lineman, what I'm worried about.
You worry about linebacker?
I'm worried about your people.
The
The
secondary.
guys on your corners. I want my corners.
Listen, man. Listen, I don't know what I don't know.
All right, but
What is the big deal with that?
Every
But
year,
get-
Tyvis, we had a
But
conversation.
getting back to our
Yeah.
offense versus their
Yes.
defense, I do believe that Stefanski's going to do a great job of dialing things up, and I do believe that Harold Fanning and David Njoku's going to play a big part. I think that 12 personnel thing really going to change the game because I don't know, outside of Logan Wilson, I'm not really familiar with the rest of their linebackers. I don't know if these guys are athletic enough to hang with these guys because it's not like the Browns are going to come out in 12 personnel, they're going to run nickel. That's not the case. They're going to run base.
I think their second starter at linebacker is a rookie, their second-round pick. I can't think of his name right now.
According to Our Lads Bowl, which
Yeah.
is the best website to get
Yeah,
that
who do
chart,
they have as their other starting linebacker?
Demetrius Knight,
Yeah, he was their second-round pick. I don't remember where he's from.
South Carolina.
See, they're going to test him then. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that they showed you a little glimpse in that last game against the Rams. Like, I think they do got a plan for Harold Fanning Jr.
I think he's going to be a big part of the
Like, I think that
offense,
I really do think that that's going to cause some fits. I really do.
I think they score. I think they'll be able to put up some points. I got them at least getting 21 points.
I do too.
So you'll get 21 points. I think that where it comes down to is that when you look at this game, it's going to come down to, okay, how many turnovers do the Browns have? Special teams, do you convert on your kicks? And when you get an
We got
opportunity,
Schmidt. We good.
we'll see. I don't know.
How is it Schmidt? It's SMYZT. How the hell is that Schmidt? Wait, there's no C in there.
Trust the process.
Hey, so when we get down there, can you score touchdowns? But here's the thing: when you're playing at Joe Burrow, like you can't just get 21 like that. You see what I'm saying? Like you could have a nice off. The Browns could totally come out and Joe Flacco could throw for like 300, and it looked good. 300, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah.
And they still lose by 10, 13 points. And that's because you got guys on the other end, T. Higgins, game changer. Jamar Chase, game changer. You know Joe Burrow going to be able to throw the football. So my thing is, you need to have
Chase Brown.
Chase Brown. They got a lot of explosive players. And that's the thing about this game is the Browns literally all year, we going to say it, they're going to have to play complementary football. So the offense, the defense can't be letting guys get quick plays. The offense can't go 3 and out. They got to play like they got a game plan. They got to play like you playing Madden and somebody's team is a 90 and yours is an 82. You just got to ball control. You're going to have to punt.
Yeah.
Don't be throwing deep balls every play. That's the way they're going to have to play. So, no, the at-will part, that's crazy. They will score some points, though.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to listen, what do I think about the Bengals defense? I don't think it's going to be good. Well, I know it's not going to be good. The question is it going to be like historically bad like it was for the first 2/3 of last season?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be normal bad, like it was the last third of last season, or can they get to the point where they're serviceable?
Right.
If the Bengals defense is serviceable, they can win the Super Bowl because they have. I don't think any team's got more talent on offense than they do. If it's terrible, if it's historically bad, yeah, they're going to be a 500 team or just above it. Maybe they'll make the playoffs, but ultimately they'll lose because you can't overcome the worst defense in football. You can overcome a mediocre or even below average one, I think. But for this game specifically, I don't know what to expect from the Bengals because I know they were Trey Hendrickson didn't play in the preseason, so you didn't really see what they're going to do. They have a new DC. And supposedly the whole camp plan was they were going to show nothing in training camp at all, nothing in the preseason. But one thing you can either do or you can't is tackle. And they tackled poorly in the preseason. Mm-hmm. So that's something like that doesn't have anything to do with scheme. You can tackle, you can't. And that's been an issue for them. You're right, there's a lot of areas where I'm like, I don't know if this guy can play. There's not one guy in their secondary I'm sure is good. Now they got young players.
You know, like Cam Taylor-Britt and Dax Hill?
I like them, but I'm not sure they're like
they were
short
saying,
things.
Like 2 years ago, I want to say it was
Cam
Big
Taylor-Britt's-
Baby that said
Yeah.
Cam Taylor-Britt was going to be that dude.
Cam Taylor-Britt is good, but he's got more to prove. He was hurt last year for a lot of the year, and like they just got a lot of young players that got a lot to prove. Now that could end up they're 4 or 5 of them emerge, and their defense is solid. It could also be none of those guys can play, and their defense is terrible. So I think it's fair to say that the Browns are going to score at will. The Browns' defense on paper is as bad as the Bengals. I'm sorry, the Browns' offense on paper is as bad as the Bengals' defense. So you could say that about both. Like you could also say, well, the Bengals' defense stinks, but they're playing a terrible Browns offense, so maybe they'll actually look good. I don't know. I'll tell you, if one of those units, the Browns offense, I know it's only week 1, so you don't want to overdo it, but if one of those units gets dominated, Bengals defense versus the Browns offense, that is a terrible sign for that unit.
That leads us to our next one, Bull, which is the Browns defense versus the Bengals offense. And G, we'll start with you on this one as our resident lineman. It's pretty simple. The Bengals offensive line is abysmal. Myles Garrett and company are going to live in the backfield.
That's factually incorrect. Go ahead.
I'm taking storylines that other people are talking about, and that's why we are either buying or selling it. So, G, are you buying or selling the fact that the Bengals offensive line is abysmal and the Browns have a chance to wreak havoc on Joe Flacco?
I would say that
on Joe Burrow. You said Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, excuse me.
I would say that I wouldn't use the word abysmal. I do believe that if you want to say the Browns have an advantage up front, I would say that just because of the style they play. Myles Garrett is the best defensive lineman in the league. Obviously, he's going to make plays, right? What it's going to come down to is I want to see what's going on with guys like Mason Graham. Again, one of the guys who we haven't really talked much about, we haven't really seen that much. I want to see him in action. What is he going to – again, you're a top 5 pick. You expect those guys to be instantaneous playmakers, not next week or we'll get you 2-3 years. You're supposed to be an instantaneous game record. He did that at Michigan. I want to see if he can do that. You said Malik Collins. I actually think he's going to make some plays too. I think the Bengals may have a hard time running the football against the Browns. Here's the problem. They prefer to throw the rock, especially given what we got in the secondary. They might not even really try to run it like that. They coming into the game telling them like, look, one of the biggest things is they better get home because you have Greg Newsome on whoever they got, right?
T. Higgins.
But I'm asking, and we ask this all the time.
Is Denzel traveling?
That's it.
I don't know.
The answer should be yes.
It should be yes, but we won't know until they kick that ball.
There
on
should
Sunday.
never be a 0 on one action. There should never be Greg Newsome lined up.
You can if you're in zone.
Yeah, I guess, but we don't do zone like that. We always
you better you need to give them a smoke break.
We always seem to be messing zone coverage up. So to me, this is crazy. So to me, I think the defensive line, Alex Wright. I think Isaiah McGuire, JTS. I think those guys will get home. I think the Browns will move around, and they may get 3, 4, 5 sacks in this game. However, they're going to give up some plays in the secondary too. So that it's even.
And that's the thing. First of all, the Bengals offensive, people make a big thing about the offensive line every year. The Bengals offensive line has never been good when Joe Burrow's been there. Never. And yet, they always score a ton of points. So, like you said, they might sack him 7 times. Unless he gets hurt, he's still going to have 40 plays to throw the ball down the field. You can't sack him every play.
Yeah.
The quality of the offensive line is almost irrelevant when it comes to Myles Garrett. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't matter.
He's getting his.
He's going to make his plays.
It's only been one person that I've ever seen shut down Myles, and that's Laramie Tunsil against Houston.
He did have a really good game.
Yeah. Myles, I didn't
that was
mention
it.
Myles' name not one time that game.
Now,
that Texans game was
the
nasty.
Bengals tackles are actually pretty good. That's their strength, and their center's good. Guard is where they have an issue. And so, that's where Mason Graham comes in. He's going to be on the right tackle. That's their weak spot. So the Bengals are starting at left guard. They're starting a rookie named Dylan Fairchild, I think out of Georgia. He was their 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, out of Georgia, correct.
The right guard thing is interesting. The Bengals have not even named the starter.
they still got the right guard battle going.
So here's the thing. They had another rookie, a late-round pick, and a veteran journeyman battling for that right guard spot. I think they both suck.
They just signed
but they signed, what's his name? Dalton Reisner, who's been a good, solid, not a star, but a good, solid guard in the NFL. Hasn't given up a sack in 2 years. I don't know why they took so long to sign him, but they just signed him a week ago. I don't care that he just got here. If I'm them, I'm starting him.
He's a guard, right?
He's a guard. I'm starting him, no doubt. And he's a pro. I mean, the guy's been a solid player. So this idea of the Bengals offensive line, I actually think with Reisner, now again, the left guard's a rookie, who knows?
That's fair.
But this has a chance to be the best Bengals offensive line under Burrow's tenure because, like I said, it's the first time they've had 2. Mims, their right tackle, he was really good as a rookie.
Really good as a
and
rookie,
he got better as the season went along. Their left tackle is, what's his name?
Orlando Brown.
Orlando Brown Jr. He's a little overrated, but he's solid. He's solid.
He's good enough.
Yeah. Their center is good. And the right guard, again, if it's the guy they signed, he's been a solid player. We'll see.
What?
If Fairchild, as a 3rd-round pick, again, it wasn't like a 6th-round pick. If Fairchild is solid as a rookie, their offensive line should be fine. But I'm still expecting the Browns, like G said, to get there 4, 5, 6 sacks. It's going to happen. Joe Burrow holds the ball a lot of plays. He takes the blame for it. The offensive line has taken a lot of crap. But Joe will tell you, a lot of those sacks have been on him over the years because he holds the ball sometimes because he wants every last second to make a play.
All sacks, and here's the thing. This is a cheat code. I shouldn't tell you this because this might cost people some money.
Oh, boy.
All sacks are not created equal.
That's true.
Let me give you this. It's second and 5. You run play action. That's a play action down. Nobody ain't open. You step up in the pocket. You get sacked for a 2-yard loss. It's 3rd and 7.
Yeah.
That is not moving nobody's earth. It's 3rd and 7 to Joe Burrow. Do you think he's worried about that? He's like, I'll take that little 2-yard sack, and I'll get in shotgun 3rd and 7, and this is manageable for me. So sometimes the sack numbers look a certain way, right? You could be a defensive end and have production, but that production don't equal to impact. Sometimes, like if you're a corner, right? If you're a cornerback and they throw a Hail Mary up or a miscommunication, and it's 3 receivers down there, and you pick the ball off at the 5-yard line, you probably should have knocked it down. Then they can punt and we can flip the field. But nobody's going to tell that guy. Look.
Crazy.
So
You're right. That happens a lot.
And so we like, oh, cool. Now you caught an interception inside your own 10. You're going to run the ball 3 plays and now punt it to us and we inside the 50.
Yeah.
Good
point.
It looks good.
Yeah.
But really, is it impactful like that? Not really. So, yeah, sacks are going to happen. All of them aren't created equally. I hate holding penalties worse because now you're screwed. It's 1st and 20.
Yeah,
get that. So, but yeah, the Browns will get home. It's a risk reward though. Can you get home with 4 and keep people in coverage, Or is it you gonna have guys in coverage and blitzing? What are you gonna do with this? Like, so it's not gonna be created equally, but I will say I'm looking forward to see the chess matchup to see what's gonna happen.
Another chess matchup we're going to be watching is the next storyline we're going to talk about. Before we do that, a quick reminder that the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season's almost here. FanDuel is making sure you're ready to kick off with a can't-miss offer right now. New customers can bet $5, and if that bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get you started. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of UCSS. All right, guys, storyline number 5. This one's been talked about a lot, including on this show in a way. It is this. Denzel Ward owns Jamar Chase. He won't go off in week 1. Tyvis, what say you?
What are the exact? I'd like to know the numbers.
I have the numbers. Are you ready, actually?
Yes.
And if you would so kindly give me 294, please. I did the research for you guys to give you a little context. But Jamar Chase has played 7 games against the Browns. In those 7 games, he's been targeted 61 times for 38 receptions, 404 yards, and 3 touchdowns. If you divide 404 divided by 7, it comes out to 57.7 yards per game, significantly lower than his average against every other team in football. At least his career. I didn't do that team by team, but
I'd like to see a game log on it, and we don't know like how often is it Denzel versus other guys. I mean, Denzel has, again, we've talked about this. Denzel's played Jamar Chase better than any corner in the league, and it's not close. I wouldn't say, I think owning him is a little strong. I don't even think Denzel Ward would say that.
There's always something in there that's
it's like a little too far. Yeah.
Like, it's when you think about like matchups, like it's the NFL. Like, you see some of the most legendary matchups, and it just depends on how that day is going. Like, you might just get the best of them that day. Like, that's like DK versus Jalen Ramsey. Like, that was good must-see TV. But sometimes DK won, sometimes Jalen won. Or Jalen versus D-Hop. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you got 2 guys who's at the prime of their career, who's at the absolute best at their position, or one of the best. Like, you never can really dictate who's going to win that matchup. Like, I'm not about to sit there and say Denzel's going to go out there and shut Jamar Chase down, but I'm also not going to go out there and say Jamar Chase is going to bomb him for 200 yards. But both of them could happen, but I can't anticipate which one will happen.
It sounds like one of them duels like back in the day where like somebody disrespected you, you got to just pull out swords and fight to the death. You'd be like, man, like that's wild, bro. Like they got something right here with these 2 dudes that they can really, one side can really overpower. Like, say for instance, if you got Cincinnati just seems to be like, yeah, we got Jamar Chase. He's not gonna run nothing spectacular. He's just better than you. So go out there and do this.
Yeah.
But if they put him in the slot and moved him around, it would be nasty. They just like, nah, we ain't gonna do it. Denzel Ward, he's one of the best corners. If they follow around Denzel Ward and they say, you gonna go where the best receiver go, he shut a lot of people down. But they're like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna play him over here. Whoever's over here is over here. So for me, this matchup is gonna come down to who decide to make that wrinkle? Who decide they're gonna change up the tendency and say, this is what we're going to do to give us a little bit of an advantage. For me, I know Denzel Ward is a dope corner. I will say he has the best chance of slowing Jamar Chase down and limiting his opportunities because Denzel Ward has one thing. Denzel Ward has elite recovery speed. Some corners, they get behind, right? They get beat, and then all of a sudden, it look like their hamstrings tight, their back they start grabbing and tripping and falling. Head back, they just tight. Your boy Denzel Ward, he don't even be panicking. He be comfortable. He be like, yeah, I'm still here.
He was nicknamed the Flash until Miles came and took the name.
Man, his feet, he be running around his upper body. I like these DB drills. Their body be sideways. They be just doing this. Here's the last 5 Jamar Chase games against the Browns. I'm not 100% sure if Denzel played in all these games. So, Mike, maybe you could find that out. But last 3 years, because when the Bengals played the Browns in the first time in 22,
That was on Halloween. Jamar Chase didn't play. That was the game that Chase didn't play. T. Higgins got hurt. And remember their DB coach?
Wasn't
coach?
expecting
The DB coach said we weren't ready for
Right. So, okay.
That was the saddest thing I've ever heard.
That was the end of his career.
The whole coaching staff got to go.
All right, so since then, here's Jamar Chase, the 5 games against the Browns. Again, I don't know for sure Denzel Ward played him. You could tell me, Mike. Second game in 22, Jamar Chase had a big game, caught 10 of 15 targets, 119 yards and a touchdown. So that was a win for him. Again, I don't know for sure whether Denzel played in that game. Then 23, Jamar Chase had 2 terrible games against the Browns. First game, remember the Browns won 24-3 in the opener in 23. Jamar Chase 5 catches, 9 targets, 39 yards, no touchdowns.
It was raining.
Yeah, it was raining that game.
Right, that was a game.
It was
a really ugly game. Second game that year was the last game of the season. I think, if I remember correctly,
Denzel did not play in the game in 23 where he went off, by the way.
Okay, so Denzel didn't play in that game.
At least
What?
no, I take that back. He did.
Oh, he did.
He
Okay.
did.
Which game did Denzel Ward?
He did play in that. Hand up, my bad.
What game did he play? It was the last game of the season, and he only played like two plays or something.
I think it was this game. It was the last game of the season in 24. He had 4 catches, 19 yards. I think he was trying to break the.
Yeah, that's it. And they took
some
him out.
sort of receiving record.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was
I thought
for.
that was his rookie year.
Was that his rookie year?
Because it was like
Who
the
knows?
rookie receiving yard record, wasn't it?
Wasn't it Baker? Was Baker still playing?
Yeah.
Last year was kind of in between. First matchup, Chase had 5 catches on only 6 targets, but 55 yards, but a touchdown. Second game, he had 6 catches, 8 targets, 97 yards, and a touchdown. So not a lot of targets for him in either of those games. It was the least amount of targets Jamar Chase had in the final 10 weeks. Listen to Jamar Chase targets last 10 games last year. Targets, 11, 11, 17, 13, 9, 18, 11, 8 against the Browns, 15, 14. So clearly Joe Burrow threw to him less against the Browns than he did against anybody else. So it's been a good matchup. I don't think it's been I don't think it's clear. Denzel Ward hasn't dominated the matchup, but he's had some really good games against Jamar Chase, has played him better than anyone else. Jamar Chase has said multiple times that Denzel covers him better than anybody in the league. So it's a spot where normally the Bengals have a massive advantage, and I think to me it's a wash. Elite receiver, elite corner.
The real storyline is the other matchup.
See?
Yeah,
there you go.
That's the one.
There you go.
This one could be a wash, but that other side, that's the matchup. That's what dictates the game.
That is.
And Mike Gesicki versus Delpit in the red zone.
The Bengals also, it's going to be interesting. They have 5 tight ends on their roster. They signed Noah Fant, too. And then Chase Brown, they're going to use him a lot out of the back.
Yeah, I like Schlesinger because he can cover well.
Yeah.
Who's that other? Who the other safety?
Who's the other safety that started? Ronnie Hickman.
It's Hickman is the other starting safety right now.
Or Casey.
So who's and then the Bengals
nickel?
And then
who's the starting nickel? That's a great question.
Yeah. Yeshavas. I can't even remember how to pronounce his name.
Kevin Stefanski doesn't speak today. He does speak tomorrow, so we'll maybe get an update on the alignment of who will be. I doubt he'll actually give us anything. I wouldn't imagine to give away that tactical advantage. But that leads us to our final storyline before we welcome Mary Kay on here in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But it's something I don't necessarily 100% agree with. This is one I found online, and I'm just going to ask you the question because I don't like how I typed it up. Does Cleveland have a major coaching advantage here? Does Kevin Stefanski still hold that major edge over Zach Taylor, or has that kind of been pushed aside after what we saw last year?
I mean, the Bengals have more talent, but the Bengals have won 3 in a row and 4 out of 5 in the matchup. Early in their head-to-head, Stefanski was winning. It seemed like every time.
He lost to him, right?
What's that?
He never lost to him until a couple years ago, right?
3 years ago.
3 years.
So the Bengals have won 3 in a row and 4 or 5. So it's hard to say that. If you ask me who I think the better coach is, I think Kevin Stefanski's probably a better coach. I'm not a big Zach Taylor fan. But I don't know that there's, how do you back that up? How do you decide is it Kevin Stefanski's won 1 playoff game and he wasn't there. So, you could say, well, one guy's got Joe Burrow, the other guy doesn't. Okay, sure.
who's a better coach comes down to preference.
Yeah, right.
Like based on arbitrary things you like about coaches, right?
Yeah.
Some people like, oh, he's more open. I like coaches who are open. I like him. More coaches. Some coaches, are tough nosed and they say all the crazy stuff. Rah guys. They like those guys. But when it comes down to actual X's and O's and what it is,
below 500.
I can't give Kevin Stefanski the. I mean, where did that come from? They won 4 out of 5. They got better players. They got a better offense. I can't just say because I like Kevin Stefanski. That's it. I don't understand where that came from. Like, what do you mean?
Well, because he's won 2 Coach of the Year awards, of course. That's what it always comes back to.
I think it's one of those things that until a few years ago, that was the thing. Like, Kevin owns them,
Right, and that's kind of gone away.
Yeah. Man,
now,
you could blame that on
Kevin has had success with bad quarterbacks, some level of success, where Zach Taylor's only succeeded with Joe Burrow. Now, they played well with what's his name who got
Browning.
hurt? Browning.
You're doing horrific. Yeah. You are in off-season form on names right now.
I can't think of any names
right
now. They won with Browning, but they didn't make the playoffs. But anyway, let's bring in Mary Kay.
Yeah, we got Mary Kay, so let's bring in our Hall of Fame contributor here. After a quick word from Upside, are you guys still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the Upside app in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash at the pump today. You can use the limited time promo code Touchdown and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year back just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it is totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon or other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now by using the promo code Touchdown for a limited time, 25% off per gallon. That's promo code Touchdown. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome on Mary Kay Cabot, the Hall of Fame beat reporter for the Cleveland Browns, to the show. How you doing today, Mary Kay? Happy official start of the 2025 season.
I'm doing great, guys. How's everybody doing there?
We're good, Mary Kay. Thank you. I don't know how it's the start of the season. I mean, season don't start till Sunday or Thursday. I guess
it's a real week. We are talking
real week,
football.
I guess. All right, we'll leave you alone for that one. All right, Mary Kay. Let's start with Joe Flacco. That's what we started with, obviously, and I think there's a lot of sentiment amongst the fan base that they expect him to play well. The reality is he obviously put up big numbers when he played here the first time, and they won games. But he also threw way too many picks. Like, if he plays the same way he did then, I don't know that they can win against the schedule they have the first few weeks, because you can't turn the ball over against these good offensive teams. What say you?
Well, first of all, he's going to have to try to make sure that he has a deep connection with someone the way that he did with Amari Cooper. Those guys connected early and often, and that really covered up for some of the ills that Joe Flacco had that year in terms of the picks. So if he can connect with Jerry Jeudy like that and kind of pick it up where he left off with David Njoku, and maybe do some nice things with Harold Fannin, find some chemistry with Isaiah Bond, who I think is going to bring a lot of nice speed to the table, even in this first week. If he can do these kinds of things, then I think it will make up for some of the interceptions that he is inevitably going to throw. The thing about Joe this year, now, at the age of 40, he's probably even lost a little bit of a step over the past 2 years. We don't know for sure, but there's a good chance that maybe he doesn't move even quite as well as he did back then. And if that's the case, they're going to have to make sure that they keep him protected as well as possible and not let him be getting sacked back there and, stack fumbles and those kinds of things. He's got to stay away from those kinds of turnovers. In his last 4 starts in Indianapolis, that was a huge problem. He was turning the ball over like crazy, 9 turnovers in those last. So that's what he's got to stay away from.
Mary Kay, I seen that you put out an article talking about Quinshawn and potentially him joining the team this week. If he was to sign, let's say he signed today, do you think, what would be the chances that we actually see him on Sunday, or would that be something that they have to wait maybe a couple of weeks to get him acclimated?
it's a big mystery what's going on with Quinshawn. And I don't know. I asked Kevin this yesterday. If you brought him in on Wednesday or Thursday, can you get him up to speed? I'm sure he's been somewhere working out like crazy. So I'm sure from a physical standpoint, he's probably ready to go. He probably doesn't know the whole offense or the install the way that he should. Obviously, he hasn't repped it. So I don't know if you can put him out on the field on Sunday. But running back is an easier position to transition into the NFL than most. And so I could actually see them trying to put him out there if, in fact, he does get in here sometime soon. I don't know what the league is going to do. I don't know if he's going to end up on the commissioner's exempt list. I don't know if he'll get suspended. It's been shrouded in mystery. Hard to find anything out about this one.
Mary Kay, what is your sense of the leash, so to speak, or the leeway for Joe Flacco? Obviously, he won the starting job. There's 2 young quarterbacks behind him. What does he have to do to keep that job besides winning? And is this a foregone conclusion? Is an inevitability that he'll kind of move out the way and they'll take somebody else and put him in there? What is your fix on that?
I think that as long as Joe Flacco is going out there and operating the offense efficiently, scoring points, and not throwing it to the other team, then he'll keep his job. But in the event that he's not playing well, that he's turning the ball over, that's going to be the whole key with him. If he's turning the ball over, then they will turn it over to Dillon Gabriel. And I don't think the leash is extraordinarily long because they love Dillon Gabriel. They really, really love this young man, and they want to see what they have in him. And I think that if it becomes apparent that Joe is not necessarily going to take them to the playoffs at some point, then I think they will turn it over to Dillon and see what he has. And then at some point after that, depending on how things are going, I know that they would also like to see some of Shedeur Sanders this year. We know this in part because Jimmy Haslam has told us, yes, absolutely, absolutely, we want to see these 2 rookie quarterbacks play at some point this season. So I just think that they're going to hold to that, and they're going to see what they have heading into this 2026 draft.
Let me ask this. Hypothetically, if Joe Flacco is playing good football, they're on the teeter of the playoffs, is that the best case or worst case scenario for the Browns if they don't get a chance to see any of the 2 young guys?
Well, I think just for the sake of their fans, for the sake of their players, for the sake of the culture of the football team, if they're winning and they're gearing up towards the playoffs, and Joe is a reason for that, you have to keep Joe in there. You cannot take Joe out if this team is in the playoff hunt. I do not feel like they would actually do that. That doesn't make sense to anybody. You can't have guys like Myles Garrett on this football team, and Denzel Ward on this football team, and David Njoku, and Grant Delpit, and Greg Newsome, and all these guys that want to win football games, and then just decide, we want to see what we have for the 2026 draft. You can't do that. If Joe Flacco is winning football games and the Browns are winning games and he's a reason for that, he will keep his job.
Let's look at it the other way, Mary Kay. I'm curious because of what you said about Dillon Gabriel. Could we be talking if they start 0-3? Could you see him by game 4? Could it happen that quick?
I suppose it's possible if they feel like they aren't going anywhere with Joe, and that if he can't get it turned around and it isn't going the way that they want to, then I do think that they would turn it over to Dillon sooner than later. They really, really like this young man, and I don't think they've even really let on about how much they like him. I think they saw something in him that caused them to keep it really under wraps, head into the draft knowing that they were taking him in the 3rd round, knowing that they weren't taking Shedeur Sanders or weren't planning to take Shedeur Sanders. And I think that everything that they believed in him or about him, I think he has shown that in practice and in games to them, despite some of the reports that were coming out of Berea. I mean, they like what they see. They like the processing. They like the decision-making. And I think once they feel that they can game plan for him, that he will even show out better. So, I think anything can happen depending on how the start of the season goes.
He did go back to that number 8 jersey, so it is something to be. He
stole Kenny Pickett's number.
He's feeling himself again. Mary Kay, we were talking about Denzel Ward and Jamar Chase and the fact that he never travels, or in recent games, they've never really had him travel with Jamar Chase the entire game. When you look at the magnitude of this game, it being week 1, new season, do you think that changes?
It's a good question. I asked Greg Newsome about this very topic yesterday, and he said he believes that he will see some of Jamar Chase as well. Now, I don't know if he would be telling the truth at this point or not, because I'm sure the Browns don't want them to be giving out any strategy whatsoever. So maybe they'll try something new. Maybe they'll have Denzel Ward on Jamar all the time. Maybe they won't. But Greg seemed to think that he would get some of that choice assignment as well. But Denzel has had a really nice camp. I think this is just definitely something to watch this season, is for him to just take his game to a whole nother level.
And you expect both of them guys to be healthy, because I know they missed the preseason finale with shoulders or something like that. You expect them both to be healthy for Sunday, correct?
Yes, both of them have shoulder injuries, but both of them seem to be healthy and ready to go. I'm sure they're probably not 100%, but they will play and they will be fine.
What does the rest of the injury report look like, as far as you know at this point, Mary Kay?
Well, Ethan Posich was back in practice yesterday, and that's really good because he's such a good center, and he has already that timing and chemistry down with Joe Flacco, and that's a position that you want to be super solid at when you're going into the opener. So good for him that he's doing well. And, really they don't have very many injuries heading into this game. DeJuan Jones, he was coming off of a broken leg, but he's looked good over there at left tackle. So I think that is a position to really watch. They really haven't had too many soft tissue injuries this camp, except for, obviously Kenny had one and Dylan had one. But other than that, the receivers have been good. So I think heading into this game, they're in pretty good shape.
What about Mahmoud Diabate? I know I think he missed all of preseason, right?
He missed a lot of it, but he was back yesterday. He has a quad muscle injury, but he was back yesterday. So yeah, nobody really quite knew what that was until yesterday or the day before. But now he should be fine. So that's good, because they do need everybody that they can get, all hands on deck at the linebacker position. They've had some issues there. And, they really need a good showing from those guys. I think they need to get more takeaways, more forced fumbles, more fumble recoveries, maybe some interceptions from their linebackers this year.
I got to ask the tough question. Devin Bush, linebacker. Obviously, he's got some off-the-field issues. Is that something that the NFL may look into and maybe possibly have him serve a suspension as well, or do you think he's clear for the season?
Well, he's not clear for the season. The NFL is reviewing all three of the Browns' cases right now. The last I heard, they were all still under review. Devin being one of them, Isaiah Bond, and Quinshon Judkins. And Devin Bush, his charges were not dropped. He's set to go to December 2nd in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. And the league is reviewing this. So if they feel that he shouldn't be out there on the football field during this, then they could put him on the commissioner's exempt list while they work through it. But as of right now, he's been able to practice, and we haven't heard anything yet about his status for the game.
America, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the show. We talked about, people wanted to go back to the way Kevin Stefanski and his playbook and some of their success they had. But when you go back and look at those numbers, they were really strong with running the football with Chubb and Hunt. They were in the top 10 when it comes to average yards, rushes, and all those different things. Obviously, they didn't show much during the preseason. Do you expect there to be an increased emphasis on the run game in the first few games of the season?
I do. And of course, not having Quinshon hasn't helped the cause because he was going to be the heir apparent to Nick Chubb, the workhorse back, the bell cow, the first and second, plow it up the middle kind of guy. And then Dylan comes in with the changeup and catches the ball out of the backfield, shifty, fast, can hit the home run at any point. This was a good 1-2 combo that they were going to rely on this season. Now they've got Jerome Ford stepping in for Quinshon. They've got Dylan, who, again, he looked really good. He's small. I'm very curious to see how his size is going to hold up in the NFL, because when you see him and when you're with him in person, he's smaller than you even realize when you see him on film. So I'm interested to see how that is going to go. And then they brought in Rocket Sanders. And now he's a big guy. You want to talk about size. The first thing that you notice about Rocket, very, very big. So he would be doing some of the short yardage and some of the goal line stuff. And so they've got what they need to get the job done, but certainly not the way they wanted to if they had Quinshon.
Mary Kay, if we had a brawl between the Browns beat reporters and the Bengals beat reporters, Which group would come out on top?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I've never gotten that one before. I think we have more.
You
know,
definitely have a bigger beat, yes.
Yeah, so if you're just going by sheer numbers,
Yeah.
I think that the Cleveland beats would probably win. But yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to pick Cleveland just because there are so many more reporters. I mean, that media room is packed to the gills every day.
Mary Kay, would it change your opinion if I told you Ben Baby, who covers the Bengals for ESPN, is a former amateur Golden Gloves boxer?
It might. Yeah, that would factor in. That would probably factor in.
But he's tiny. You got to get like Tom Withers is probably a little feisty. I can see him being a little feisty. And Scott Petrak's a decent-sized guy. Maybe you can hold him down. You knock him out, and then you throw him out of the ring.
Look, Daryl looks like he hides weapons.
Daryl tore my Achilles. He's dangerous.
He has nunchucks.
Thanks, Mary Kay.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Mary Kay, who wins and how
Yes.
on Sunday? Give us your prediction.
Yeah,
Bull is so out of regular season form. He's forgetting
Sorry.
names. He's forgetting important questions to ask. Mary Kay, how do you see week 1 playing out here for Cleveland?
Well, first of all, it's early in the week, and I have not made my pick yet for Cleveland.com, so this can change. But heading into the week, I'm leaning towards the Browns' defensive line giving Joe Burrow the business. And if the Bengals can't get him protected and keep him upright and let him do his thing, it could be a very long afternoon. I think Miles, after everything that he went through in the offseason with the trade request and just everything, I think he's going to want to go out there and play with his hair on fire. And I think Joe Burrow should probably be afraid. And I think that that's going to be a huge factor in the game.
All right. There you go. There's the prediction. Browns win. Mikey, you got any other questions we left out?
I have one more, actually, if you don't mind, Mary.
Go ahead.
Real quick, but I know you mentioned Isaiah Bond earlier. We know the number 1 receiver is Jerry Jeudy. We think Cedric Tillman's the 2, and Thrash is kind of the starting slot there. But how much do you anticipate Isaiah Bond working his way into the mix, coming into camp so late?
Well, I think he will be in the mix because, first of all, you want the Bengals to have to worry about that speed. He's your downfield threat, and you want them to have to game plan for him. So he's going to play. I don't think he'll play the whole entire game. He will get spot duty, but I could see him getting maybe 15 snaps, something like that. So we'll see how it goes, but he's looked good in practice. He was doing 2-a-days while he was out waiting for his opportunity, and so he's in good shape. And when you bring that kind of speed, you want to get that on the field.
Thanks, Mary Kay. We appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Mary Kay Cabot, Cleveland.com. And there you go, Mikey.
Awesome.
That was interesting. The way
go.
Good. The way she talked about, how much they love Dylan Gabriel makes me think that Joe Flacco, if they have to a bad start, Gabriel could be in there sooner rather than later.
I said week 5.
Yeah, I had a short.
I got the London trip.
Yeah?
That's my guess.
Isn't that a tough week to switch quarterbacks? No?
Is it easier than going on the road to Pittsburgh, which is week 6?
Yeah, I would think you'd wait till the week after that because then they got 2 softer opponents.
Hey, man, ain't no such thing as soft opponents.
That's fair point. Fair point. It's the NFL.
Yeah, get ready.
This is not minor league football.
No. This is not. I can't believe you calling college football minor league football now. That's wild.
I mean, it is.
It is.
It is.
With the NIL, there's a
minor league
little more
football.
validity to it than there had
Yeah.
been in the past. So, all right, guys, we got a couple more topics, including 2 more on the Browns to get to today. This next one's brought to us by Yahoo Fantasy. Fantasy football is back. Fire up the group chats, get your draft boards ready, and buckle up for a season filled with breakouts, busts, and all the overreactions we live for. It all goes down on Yahoo Fantasy. This year, the UCSS League is back on Yahoo. Best decision we've ever made. To celebrate 28 years of fantasy greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over the next 28 days, giving you more ways to play, more ways to draft, and more ways to win. It all begins on August 4th. Stay tuned and get started by creating or joining a Yahoo Fantasy Football League at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. That is yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. And let's make this fantasy season the best one yet. Guys, we did this topic last year.
Yeah.
And it was because I was not prepared that day, and I needed to just throw something out there. And it turned out to be a great discussion.
Okay.
So I ran it back, and this time I actually prepared for it, but I wanted to run it back. We did this on this exact day before week 1 of last season, and I asked you guys, In your opinion, what was the most underrated part of the game? It could be a storyline. It could be a matchup. It could be a player. The most underrated, under-talked about portion of this Week 1 matchup that we have not discussed yet, or not discussed enough yet. So we'll go around the horn. Tyvis, we'll start with you. What do you think is the most underrated, under-talked about, underappreciated part of this Week 1 matchup against Cincinnati?
I think one key matchup that a lot of people isn't talking about, and I don't know why. I actually don't know why we don't spend time talking about this, is DeJuan Jones versus Trey Hendrickson. Like, that's a thing. You know, this is DeJuan's first year starting as the left tackle. I know he's played some games at left tackle, but this is Trey Hendrickson, who's arguably top 5 pass rushers in the game right now. Yeah. And we have not talked about how that could change the entire game if DeJuan can't block him. Like, that really would derail this whole game, and Cincinnati could win with flying colors if DeJuan doesn't do a good job on him.
Man, I mean, that's a big one too.
Nobody's talking about it.
That's true. We haven't
like nobody's brought that up.
In fairness, this is our first show this week, so where were we
leading up to the whole thing? We have not mentioned that.
That's
the fact
true.
That this is a big year for DeJuan.
I think, man, this year it's crazy. Like, overarching theme. I think that goes into the bigger scheme of things. Like, I don't think we talked about none of this. Like, I feel like we talked about quarterbacks, and then we talked about, okay, what they're going to do next year. It feels like we went from the draft, saw how they got in the draft, and then automatically was like, okay, it's next year.
Right.
And I think the biggest thing is people are not understanding that, yes, you can have that sort of, we're going to look in the future type thing, but when the season starts and these games start going and you got people at home watching this stuff, that pressure gets ratcheted up to 1,000, because when you coming out, people want to see things improve from last year. You won 3 games last year. They want to see the quarterback play improve. The running game needs to improve. The penalties need to improve. The kicking game needs to improve. You know, you need to come out here and actually, get better in all these facets. And people think that, oh, well, this year don't count. We'll just fast forward this year and go to next year. Nah, bro, that ain't going to work, man. I tried it last year. You know how tough it was talking about the Cleveland Browns after, like, week 7? And then you got 10 more weeks? We ain't even –
try taking calls.
Yeah,
try justifying it.
You like, wow. So I think everybody is in this honeymoon phase where, yeah, we're going to have to do a slight rebuild. But no, man. This season can go left quickly. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I feel like this could be an opportunity to really find out what your coaching staff is made of, right? I judge, we kind of went back a little bit, I judge Bull based on, I don't judge a coach on their best team or they best players. I judge coaching on, what do you do when you don't have the best squad? What do you do when you don't have the best quarterback or the best defense, or you're missing people? Can you still maneuver and win football games and evaluate while you're going through some changes? So I want to see what Kevin Stefanski does. I want to see how the quarterback battle go. I want to see if the offensive line can be rehabilitated and get back to doing it. But I just think people are not saying properly that this is truly an evaluation for a lot of people. Instead of everybody is safe and then we'll go to next year. I don't think
listen, now the season has started. It's all about winning the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll worry about next year. I don't care about draft picks and any of that crap right now. You want to win football games. Specifically in this matchup, we haven't talked at all about special teams. You mentioned Andre Smith for a second. We have no idea what to expect from this guy.
None.
They had a kicker 2 years ago, Hopkins. He had been a journeyman. Had a great year. They paid him. Then he sucked. Then they cut him. I mean, it's crazy.
Has Schmidt kicked, like, in the regular season?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He hasn't? I thought he –
Mike, can you check that?
Just on practice squad? I thought he played.
Has he kicked in a regular season game?
According to Pro Football Reference, he has not kicked in an actual NFL game.
So it's his first NFL game.
How come we can't get we can't get a consistent kicker like the rest of you? Like the kicker for the Steelers. He been there how long?
Yeah, for 10 years maybe.
10
I don't know. He's reliable. You don't hear about him a lot. A guy I can't. Was it Boswell? No.
Chris Boswell?
Boswell
right?
for Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
Yeah, he's great.
Been there forever. Can we
You
get
know,
one of
but
those?
then they go-
He was money last
Tucker's
year on my
just gone
fantasy.
now.
He's just-
team.
Who's the Raven? What if they have a great kicker again?
Who?
I'm gonna be.
The Ravens?
Yeah.
They would. Do
Who's
something
their
like
kicker,
that.
Mike?
You know, it's crazy. I got him on my fantasy team. Whoever is
The Ravens' new kicker.
You didn't know his name.
I don't know his name.
I've never heard of this guy.
What's his name?
Tyler Loop.
Yeah,
probably a
that's
rookie.
exactly who I
He's
got.
a rookie, yep.
That's who I got on my fantasy.
Meanwhile, the Bengals too. Like Evan McPherson came into the league, was great as a rookie.
Oh, he was
Had
money.
been great
And
all these years, and then last year he stunk. He had a bad year out of nowhere. Supposedly he was a little hurt. I don't know. It sounds like an excuse to me.
According to Anthony, once you miss one, it's.
So can he get back to being? Because he looked like he was the next best kicker in the league there for a
I
while.
was calling him Money McPherson.
I mean, he made all those big kicks in the playoffs. So like, I'll give him a little bit of the doubt of a down year, but he's got to prove that he's back up to snuff. Because honestly, for all the talk of the Bengals defense, he missed a couple of kicks. They would have won 11 games and made the playoffs even with that terrible defense.
Yep.
Schmidt never kicked in the regular season.
Nope.
This is about to
So he
be
won,
good.
for anyone who doesn't know the background on
God.
Andre Schmidt,
Yeah.
he won the Lou Groza Award as a true freshman at Syracuse, which is the best kicker in the nation.
What year was that?
2018.
Oh my God, it was that long ago?
He was a COVID guy, and then he played in the UFL.
Yeah.
He was the UFL's leader in
old
field
as
goals
me.
last year. So he does have quote-unquote professional kicking experience,
Right.
but it's not
Wait,
really
bro,
professional kicking experience.
You do know this. If you did, this is how you can disregard any stats. If you say anything before COVID, it don't count. You say I had a job in 2017, bro. That was 3 years
First of all-
prior
first
to
of
a
all,
pandemic.
hold
It
on,
don't count.
Hold on. You gonna watch your mouth.
That was
I played football pro.
never. It did not count. It
didn't happen.
Like it didn't happen.
I was an NFL player
Tyvis.
before the pandemic.
Tyvis,
and
the
after
world-
the pandemic, I never seen the NFL
the
again.
world reset. There are new facts out there. There are new books being written.
Facts don't matter
That
anymore.
this is
You know,
this.
I wonder if that's something they gonna teach in history. Like in 2020, the world shut down. 'cause
They
of COVID.
absolutely will.
Of course.
So like 10 years from now, that's
Yeah.
what we taught.
Like,
Real quick
Cool.
on Schmidt, Bull. I'm just
Yeah.
doing a little more digging. To your point about kickers having just ups and downs.
yeah.
True freshman won the Lou Groza Award. First team All-American,
Right.
All-ACC first team.
Yeah.
As a sophomore, he fell to third team All-ACC kicker. Did not receive a single other all-conference, all-nothing
Yeah.
the rest of his year. Ends up going to the Chicago Bears practice squad in 23. He went to the St. Louis Battlehawks of the UFL, was a very good, productive kicker in the UFL. It may mean something, it may mean nothing. Jack
I mean,
Bates.
kicks are kicks, but there's a level of pressure
But-
and
but
a
I
lot
was
of.
saying,
How many people? Although
you're
the
right.
St. Louis had a lot of fans, but
and the Lions kicker, Bates,
yeah.
was essentially what Schmidt did the year before. Led
Right.
the UFL in points in 2023.
Yeah.
And he was a really good kicker last year for Detroit. So
I look
doesn't
at-
mean it'll translate.
I
But
look, I look at kickers like golfers. Like the difference between golfers is very minute. Like any golfer that's a pro can be dominant one day, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's a small degree, but
Yeah.
in general, there's not very much difference between the greatest ones and the average ones, except for can you make pressure kicks?
That's it.
That's
Can you
it.
handle the pressure of an NFL game with 50,000 screaming fans going nuts, knowing the game is totally on your leg?
Yeah.
Remember you did if you was to buy a Browns jersey, who would it be?
Yeah.
The third answer always was Phil
Phil Dawson, which is that tells you
That's
something.
crazy.
Who never kicked did he ever kick in the playoffs?
No.
No, we didn't make the playoffs.
Not with the Browns, at least. Go ahead.
I want to give you my underrated storyline, and
Yeah.
we're going to talk about it in tomorrow's show. So I just want to
Okay.
give you mine, and then we're going to move on to our next topic because I think it's going to get a little bit heated in a good way. But this is Tommy Reese's first time being an OC. We know what Kevin Stefanski traditionally wants to do. I'm curious how much influence from the college game and what Tommy Reese likes to do seeps its way into what we actually see on
how would
Sundays
we
from
know,
Stefanski
though?
offense. No, that's why we haven't talked about it. I'm
Kevin
excited to see
Stefanski
it.
is calling the plays. I don't know that Tommy Reese has much say in the.
I think it's no, not in the play call, but in concepts, in certain looks. And, we talked about it on the post-game show. There were a couple pre-snap motions that we had never seen the Browns run before in a preseason game. If they're willing to show that in a preseason game, I'm curious what they may have up their sleeve for a real game.
You brought up Tommy Reese, and it made me think about something. I thought about this about a week ago. If Jalen Milroe was available in the 3rd round, do you think the Browns would have taken him over Dillon Gabriel?
Wasn't he available in the 3rd round?
I don't think he was. I think he left. I think he went.
I think he got
before.
taken earlier.
Yeah, I think he got
round.
taken like maybe 2 or 3 picks before.
I don't know. We'll never know. Supposedly they love Dillon Gabriel. I guess we'll never know.
Dillon Gabriel.
Milroe was the 92nd pick, so literally just before Dillon Gabriel was the 94th.
By the way, last week, Thursday or whatever it was, we did for one of my fantasy leagues, we did a rookie draft. Mm-hmm. And I was curious, like, when would Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel go in this rookie draft that I did? And Shedeur went before Dillon Gabriel in this rookie draft. I ended up drafting Dillon Gabriel in the last round.
Oh, so
it's a keeper league.
It's a keeper league, yeah.
So the Browns were higher on them than you guys were, huh?
What do you mean?
The Browns took him in the 3rd round. They like him.
Yeah. You know what? It actually was the 3rd round. It was my 2nd pick of the 3rd round. He was my last draft pick. Was Dillon Gabriel. I was deciding between him and Harold Fannin actually, and I decided to take the quarterback, and I'm going to try to get Fannin for $1 in the regular draft.
I am actually ecstatic to see Dillon Gabriel.
Of course, because this is going to be a telling thing on Stefanski. Because if they stink and Gabriel stinks,
hey, let me just throw this out
It's
there.
hard to come.
it's hard to defend Kevin after that. Yeah.
Listen,
It would be.
because I want to put this on record. This is day one.
Yeah.
So okay. How many times have we got to hear people say they like him?
Like who?
Dillon. They like him.
The Browns like him. Yeah.
love him. Yeah.
We've heard that a lot.
So that's their guy, right?
Yes,
That's their man.
There's no excuse.
They could have got any other quarterback, and that's their choice.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So
they could have got any quarterback outside
of Cam Ward.
Right.
They chose the analytics and whatever they saw. They chose him.
Yeah.
If he does not play well, how can you then go and say
We can evaluate
quarterbacks next year?
Right.
I agree.
Especially if he's like okay, that's one thing.
That's one thing.
If
but
he stinks,
I don't think.
now on the other hand, if he's very good,
if he's good,
that's a different story.
This is why I want to get this on paper.
Yeah.
I want it because I'm going to give him the credit if he's very good. And then I'm going to have to say your evaluation. I don't know if he's not very good. I can't wait to see
I told you
him.
months ago.
Yeah.
I'm strictly if Dillon Gabriel ain't good and Shedeur Sanders become the next Tom Brady, I'm still saying the Browns don't know how to evaluate quarterbacks.
Oh, that's 100% true.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
solely off of Dillon Gabriel.
Ty, that leads us right into where we're going next.
Go
So let me
ahead.
do a quick read from FanDuel. We'll get into that discussion. FanDuel, guys, is the official sportsbook of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. They have a brand new offer for new customers that if you haven't taken advantage of yet, you really are missing out. Right now, new customers can bet $5, and if that bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So are you ready to play? Just download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet. FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
And Phil Dawson did play on that 2002 Browns team.
According to Steve Becker, he did.
The kick.
All right, guys,
I
the
forgot
question I
about
have
that.
to ask you is we just watched an entire weekend of college football. And there were some really good performances. There were some not-so-good performances. Ohio State beat Texas. LSU beat Clemson. We saw Miami beat Notre Dame. Some really, really fun games. Some good football, some not-so-good football. But the discourse over every quarterback was tied down to and simplified to basically, in at least my Twitter feed, this guy doesn't look better than Shedeur. This guy is the guy we're tanking for. This is the guy the Browns want to draft. Bull, I saw you tweet, and I know this was arch-related, but I'm going to make it bigger picture, that the overreactions to one game are just flat-out absurd.
Yeah.
So I wanted to toss this to you. Is this what we're going to have to deal with every weekend of the football season for the Browns, with fans, not just Shedeur fans, but just fans in general, talking themselves off the 2026
I mean, I just
quarterback
don't know
class?
deal with it. You could choose to look at it or choose not to look at it. People are going to say what they're going to say. There's a segment of fans out there that they're not Browns fans. They're Shedeur Sanders fans, and that's fine. Everybody, Tim Tebow had his fans, and everybody else has their fans. They don't care about the Browns. A percentage of them don't live in reality, and we've seen this with other fan bases before. And so because of that, Arch Manning or whatever other quarterback is going to get torn down every time they don't play a good game. Just like other people have done to Shedeur. Frankly, I think some of especially the pre-draft commenting from media members about Shedeur was clown-like behavior. All right? It was ridiculous.
He has come to see the light.
I didn't like any of it to begin with, but we're in the middle of this conversation.
All right, go ahead.
And I just think he was treated unfairly. And listen, sometimes in life you don't get treated fairly. It happens. It sucks. He was treated unfairly. I do not believe that I think the conspiracy theories about Kevin Stefanski and Shedeur Sanders are insane. I don't think Kevin Stefanski's out to get Shedeur Sanders, wants him to fail. That doesn't make any sense to me. And so I just think that's silly. But I do think a lot of the discourse around Shedeur before the season, distraction, this and that, is unfair. And I don't think the same things would have been said about Arch Manning.
No.
That being said, Arch Manning is taking unfair heat here.
He is.
Did he play well in this game? No. He didn't play well in this game. Ohio State, I'm guessing, is going to have the best defense in college football this year.
Bucks.
Is that fair to say?
Go Bucks.
Okay? I don't think there's a lot of quarterbacks that are going to look good against that defense. Folks, I have no idea. Arch Manning has barely played out of high school. I have no clue how good he is. Just because his name is Manning doesn't mean he's going to be a great player. And just because he played one game poorly doesn't mean he's going to be a bad player. The reaction, I get why people are reacting the way they are, but I think it's silly. Mm-hmm. It's certainly unfair to him. Just like people were unfair to Shedeur, I think people are now being unfair to Arch Manning. I think the whole thing's ridiculous. And I think everybody rationally knows that you can't judge quarterbacks based on one game, no matter what their name is and who their father is or uncles are.
Well, that's, Bull, you saw it. I mean, here, let me explain this to y'all so I could just give y'all the blueprint. Look, man, you can't say that, like, hey, Shedeur played bad last week, right? He didn't play so well last week.
About the Rams game?
Yeah, he didn't play so well.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who wrote him off and said he can't play.
Who?
There's a lot of people who say, hey, this is why 31 teams passed on him.
That is true. They did say that.
And that was unfair.
So now here's where the backlash comes from. So if you got a large group of people that think a guy can play well and they feel like he was talked about crazy, and all of this, his name on the back of the jersey is bigger than whatever it is. Now we got a case-to-case scenario. I know Sanders and I know Manning, right? Mm-hmm. I know both of them. Now, Sanders had a whole career of, stats and done things. He's played 2 games.
No, he's played
3
now.
I
think he started 3 games.
He started 3 games. Do you know this guy? You know this man? And he might be good. I'm not knocking him. He might be good coming up, and he grow into whatever he's going to be. But do you know he's the favorite for the Heisman?
No. He was.
Was the favorite, right?
He was.
I've never seen
Right, but that is nothing.
No.
That's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
Yeah.
I'm not going to him.
Yeah.
What I'm explaining to you is the media builds you up, and then they destroy you.
Yeah.
They put him on the cover like, yo, this is the guy. And here's the pushback. A lot of people are going to jump off the bridge and have that type of energy on Twitter because in one space you say, this guy doesn't deserve this amount of reps, or this guy don't deserve this guy don't deserve that, and he ain't this, he ain't that, right? You get a guy who hasn't played, and you are willing to say the Cleveland Browns, it don't matter what happened this year, it's all about next year, that makes people pissed off.
Right, but
It
I don't
pisses
think it's.
people off.
I don't think that's a specific thing about Arch Manning. I
But
think it's,
but the overarching theme is
yeah.
when they say generational quarterback in next year's draft,
Right.
That's why I make people say the names, right? I want you to tell me, is it Sellers? Is it Nussmeier?
Yeah.
Is it Cade Clubbin? Cade Clubbin didn't look
Didn't
good
Sellers play well?
I like what Sellers did.
Sellers played well.
I was on this
Nussmeier
show
played
and
well.
I said that I think the Browns should take
So,
Sellers. Like
I
a
just
month
think.
ago.
I just think it's all so ridiculous. All of it. The
But we
whole-
did it. We did it.
Well, I didn't do it. What did I
is
do?
we?
No, watch this. Hold on,
Yeah.
watch this. We did that.
Who is we?
So here's how we do it. It's the collective group as a
Collective
media.
we. Okay.
Collectively,
Nah.
we collectively
No.
we build somebody up. Then when they fall, Shedeur Sanders, they said, "Oh, first round pick, fell to the 5th." That's an emotional roller coaster. Now they say, "Okay, this year don't count. We're gonna go get another quarterback next year, right?" The Browns land on the sidelines magically. They're not looking at the defensive tackle from Texas. They're not looking at corners from Ohio State. They're coming to look at Arch Manning.
You talking about Jimmy and
Jimmy,
AB?
yeah.
Oh, they
they
was there
on
for
the
Arch,
sideline.
for
They was
sure.
there for Arch.
For sure.
They show up. He don't look good. What you think people gonna say? You thought we blind? The Browns have 2 draft picks. They're there on the side. How many times is the Browns been on any draft? What sideline they showed up for?
Jimmy should just stay in his booth and do nothing.
So what
He
do you
just-
think
he-
people are
he
gonna
just-
do? They're gonna
That
trip
doesn't
out.
make it rational.
I forget the whole question. What's the question that you asked, McNuggets?
The question I
stirring up
asked,
trouble.
and I didn't change the super. That's my bad. but
Here's the thing.
Are the overreactions to 1 week good or bad way out of control
Yeah, they out of
through
control.
the prism that the Browns potentially may need to draft a quarterback next year?
Yes, they're out of control.
You know how many clicks that's getting?
That's right, and that's
Like, what
why
you talking
it's
about?
all about clicks.
You guys,
See, that's my problem.
But
this is my problem with being in this space.
I told you.
am not here for clicks.
Bro,
I don't do clicks.
listen.
I'm not about to say nothing just for some clicks. The Giannis thing maybe, but that's not a click. I truly feel that way. So let's get that settled. But outside of that, like I just tell it like it is. Like how would you look at one performance and say, yeah, this guy ain't it? That's not what I said. What I said during the game was Julian saying looks like he been playing way more football than Arch Manning. I said the game was lost because Arch Manning missed some throws. However, there's 11 games left that I need to see it. Because before the game, yes, they said this man was the best thing since sliced bread. So I was like, oh, I need to see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it
He
in
didn't
this
play
game.
well?
Now, granted, it was out in the 4th quarter. He started to look really good in the 4th quarter.
hit some
But he
throws.
missed some throws. There's some key
Well, there was
throws
that
in the
third
game.
down play where he had, what's that big receiver on Texas?
Trey Ringo.
He had him crossing.
Yeah, and he
threw it behind him.
Yeah, it looked like Uncle Rico on Napoleon.
He almost
Dynamite.
made a great catch on that one. But can we talk about the game
Yeah, some of the game.
instead of this nonsense?
Yeah.
I mean, did you have another point?
Oh
before we go to
no!
the game?
All I said is when you say generational, it's gonna come with a level of extra.
But I never. Who said
I never
that?
called him
Yeah,
generational.
who said that?
Yeah.
See,
People, the collective we.
The collective we has always
Has said generational.
Now you can't, the collective we. If you're the
don't-
Heisman favorite,
That's
that is a collective we.
That's fair.
It's impossible to say that this man was a generational talent and he only had played two
people-
games.
that is why.
Like, that makes no sense.
well,
that is why I
you
used to-
cannot do that.
So
That's
here's
why
two
I sat
things.
here and be like, "Yo,
Two
you
things.
crazy?"
Clearly, there were people saying that. The people that were reacting on Twitter made it seem like everybody in the media was saying, which was far from true. But there were enough people saying it that it caused a stir. And,
This is why I'm not a media member, 'cause I
Yes,
didn't-
you are.
no.
Let's talk about the game because, and I didn't think Sayan played that great either. I mean, the offense was just
Saying is very accurate. The reason his numbers
Yeah.
look the way they look because he had like 4 drops from his wide receiver.
right, and they were playing very conservatively because their
Saying
defense
should
was
have been-
dominating.
He should have finished that game 17 for 20 for probably
Yeah.
2 something.
Here's what I will say.
I found the game kind of boring, to be honest. with you.
I thought
you don't
yeah.
like good defense.
No,
play.
but
I thought. See, this is the
defense was great.
minutia, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you talk about Arch Manning, I think this is what happens when you get a new dude, and sometimes your coach even buys into the hype. When Quinn Ewers was there, They did all types of motion, all types of swings, all types of RPO. You don't know where the ball is at. Get it out quick, and we're going to let our athletes move around and run. When you see, I turned on the game, they got Arch Manning now. Now you traditional drop back? You forget he only played 2 games against a Ohio State defense. You got to give me some smoke and mirrors. They was just dropping back like he was ready to deal on the 3 to 5 step regular. I'm like, no, that is not what it is. When he missed a couple of them passes earlier, and you see he was jittery.
First pass, he skipped it off the turf.
I said, oh,
like what?
You got to use his legs. You better be running screens. I just thought Ohio State was way more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, and how they was like, we're gonna run this football, saying he's not gonna be throwing the ball 30 times. I thought their game plan was much better.
The defense for Ohio State was fantastic.
With new guys.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean they were just outstanding. It was I was making fun of Patricia before, but he obviously had an excellent game plan.
Had his pencil still.
And he had the pencil, and just don't let him be a head coach because he stinks at that. But he did a great job, and they did a great job. I mean, everybody on that defense was impactful.
Let me ask you this question: because this gonna happen this year? Oh, the tracker is out. The college football, it was the practice tracker. Oh, the college football tracker is out. We will be watching Aller, Nussmeier, Klubnik, Sellers, Arch Manning. We're going to be watching all of them. It's another dude I keep forgetting. It's another one they like.
Fernando Mendoza.
We're going to be watching all
Klubnik.
year. We're going to be watching all year. So by the time, Bull, you might as well get tapped in.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be having this conversation come next year.
By the way, can I throw a little grenade in there, just make things like even more crazy?
Last one, then let's move on to the Guardians.
If Sellers is the only one that's like looking great,
you're not getting them.
All of a sudden, we're going to see everybody who was saying, it's all about next year, saying, it's just something about him I don't like.
Hold on. Hey, hold on.
Saying because his
Hold on.
Are you saying it's because he wears rec specs?
Hold on. That went
grenade.
That went over my head. Hold on.
I picked it right up. I knew exactly what he was saying.
I come back to this. No, listen, I didn't say that. That was Bull who said that. I didn't say nothing of the sort. Maybe I like Garrett Nussmeier. That's why maybe. But
Nussmeier looked good though.
He did look good.
Nussmeier did look good.
Can I trust a guy with the last name Nussmeier?
His dad's the offensive coordinator for the Saints, so
I don't.
I mean, how good can he be? They suck.
Is it messed up?
I mean, his first year there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he comes from a football background.
Now, listen, Sellers can run the football.
He like a black Tim Tebow.
But
well, that's not a good.
That is not the comparison.
That's not good. I don't want to draft a black Tim Tebow.
He's more like Cam Newton than.
I don't want to draft a white Tim Tebow or a black Tim Tebow.
In college.
Man, listen, I guess.
Tim Tebow's the worst NFL quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
College.
Not named Johnny
But
Manziel.
here's the thing.
College.
Have you seen Kevin Stefanski work with running quarterbacks before?
Not good.
He tried with Deshaun.
It needs to be
By
a
the
new
way,
system.
can we stop putting Johnny Manziel like Ocho?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp. Can we do something better than bring that idiot on?
Johnny is popping now, obviously. He was
We'll
with
address the Johnny
Braylon
stuff.
Edwards.
What's that?
We're gonna address all the Johnny stuff. He's got another interview coming out tonight. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to talk about
Well,
it.
let me-
but he's-
No overtime today because the fantasy draft. We never have overtime. We do fantasy draft.
Okay.
I
That's the
won't
rule.
be here, so let me say
rule.
this.
Yeah.
Let me say this about Johnny, okay? When Johnny gets up and talk on these podcasts, I got a homeboy that says that they need to start banning podcasts. And when I hear Johnny talk, I agree with them because they just get on these podcasts and say anything. It's kind of ridiculous. And
Why would you ban podcasts?
Because they giving them the space to just say crazy nonsense like that. Like I've never seen somebody not
a reason
take
to ban
a
podcasts. What are you talking
people
about?
get up here and just say whatever.
People give
Just
him
say whatever.
Tyvis.
What?
That's
I
what we
don't
do
care
for a
about no
living.
clicks.
Tyvis, do you realize what we're doing
What
right
we
now?
do for a living, dude. What are you
Tyvis,
talking about banning podcasts?
I appreciate getting paid, so
Tyvis,
don't ban all podcasts.
I'm old enough to remember Maury Povich and Jerry Springer.
It's funny that you say that.
People just get up and say things. You are not the father. He's a millionaire.
It's so funny that you said that.
But I'll just be looking at stuff like, really?
Yeah, I know. Johnny's an idiot, and he's bashing Cleveland like it was Cleveland's
We're-
fault. that he
we're
was
gonna
a
talk
bum.
about tomorrow
Maybe
in
he shouldn't have
depth.
been in the
I
high
promise.
rollers
We're
room
doing
the
another
night before they
podcast.
played the Bengals the first game. But last night, I started Aaron wanted to watch 8 Mile.
Great movie, so good.
And then a couple
All-time
minutes in, I'm
classic.
like, you can't watch this movie.
What's wrong with it?
Well, they use.
There's a couple parts that
There's
I
like
see
some
how.
sexual
Yeah,
violence.
there is. Yeah.
There's a lot of
yeah.
I didn't want him to hear There's a lot
TVMA.
There's a lot of.
Where were you watching it on? Was it like on TV or?
It was on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
it just went to Netflix.
Yeah, nah.
Because there's some of the language I didn't want him to
nah.
hear. But we watched it because he loves the song. He heard it, so he loves the song.
great pump
and the
up song.
movie's great. But at one point, there was like they were in the trailer or whatever, and you see them watching Maury Povich. And so I was explaining to him about, because eventually we just like fast forward it and we just watched a couple. We watched some of the rap battles and then we at the end when they play the song. But at one point they showed us a scene from Maury Povich and it was like, "You are not the father," and I had to explain to him what it was like. Like,
hey, Bull.
Wow.
We got 10 minutes left
All right,
in no
sorry,
overtime,
yeah.
and we got to talk George Valera for 1 second.
Yeah,
if you guys don't follow us on social media already,
I told Mike we need to talk about George Valera in 5 minutes. I was wrong.
just
30 seconds
I hit the
on George
button.
Valera.
Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on
like-
TikTok. Hit us on our
even need to
social
talk
channels
about
for all the
George.
behind the
Nobody
scenes
really gives a
content.
rat's ass about George Valera.
I called you yesterday and said,
I
Bull, how long
know.
do we
I
need
was
for George
wrong.
Valera?
Good for
Bull,
him. Good
Gosh
for him
darn
for
it, give us the George Valera
Let's hear it.
insight.
good for George Valera
I've
finally.
never
getting
seen a
it.
picture of him.
I have never seen him either. I didn't know
I
that's
thought
what
he was an
looked like.
Italian big white guy.
I thought he was.
George Valera is definitely like a Greek power hitter. This is not George Valera, bro.
I thought
This
he
is
was so white
We would have been
Italian
rooting
guy.
harder for him.
Yeah, right. If you knew. Good for him. Like he had been a top prospect. He had lost his prospect status. He lost his spot on the 40-man roster to get it back and get the opportunity in the big leagues after some injuries. Good for him. He got, I can't remember if he got a hit or he walked.
He
Yeah,
walked
he
yesterday.
walked. So he got on base for the first time. I'll be interested to see how he plays down the stretch. The season's over. The Guardians had to sweep the Mariners. They blew that last game after they won the first two, and then they lose yesterday. They're behind 3 teams for that final wild card spot. Texas is playing really well right now. They may go and grab that 3rd wild card spot. But there you go. They're not getting the playoffs.
2 things on Valera real
Yeah.
quick that I learned this morning making his stats and research.
Yeah.
He's still only 24 years old.
Right.
It just feels like he's older than that.
Yeah, well, because it wasn't like he came out of college.
I know. It felt like he's
He's
older.
been in the minors since he was like 18.
And
17.
Tyvis, that was where I was going next. Guess how many minor league home runs George Valera has in his career?
40.
G, what do you think?
Nah, bro. I feel like minor league home runs is a dime a dozen. You ain't getting no home runs like that. I feel like he got like 12.
Bull.
56.
He has 87 career minor league home runs.
How long he been in the minors?
A while.
He has 1,700 at bats in the minors. He has a career average in the minors of 250, an OPS of 821. He's got 429 hits in the minors. That's a dude who's played a lot of minor league
Bro,
baseball.
this dude got a pension, bro. He getting Social Security for the minor leagues, bro.
Well, good for him finally
he about to get
breaking
that-
through.
Wow.
The Guardians wait till they're not top prospects anymore to finally call them up. By the way, Kyle Manzardo, 1 more home run. He'll be just the 3rd Guardians player not named Jose Ramirez to hit 25 or more home runs in a season since 2000. You know who the other 2 are? One should be easy.
Naylor.
One's Josh Naylor. Who's the other?
How long? How far back I need?
Since 2020, since 2020. Since 2020, besides Ramirez, only 2 guys have hit 25 or more home runs in
Lindor.
a season. No, he hasn't been. No,
Yeah, he was gone.
he
Wasn't
was gone. He got traded that year.
See, that's another before COVID. Never happened.
Yeah.
He never played for the Indians.
Mike, do you know it? Anybody want to guess?
Hold on.
Ask the question one more time.
So since 2020, only 2 Guardians players have hit 25 or more home runs. That's it, which is pathetic. Besides Jose
Jimenez
Ramirez.
first year.
One of them was obviously Josh Naylor.
Jimenez never did it. So since 2020.
Who's the other one? It's a real hard answer. It's not a guy you can
Is
think
it pre-22? Is it before I was here?
I think it was 21. I believe so.
And
Go Evan 419. What do you got?
Encarnacion.
Jan
You want to take a
Gomes.
guess? Not Jan
Edwin
Gomes.
Encarnacion.
Edwin Encarnacion. No, it's not Edwin Encarnacion. I expect Evan
Einar
419.
Diaz.
No.
If Evan doesn't know, then I have no idea.
I'll give you a clue. He was a DH. He played a little outfield.
Fran Mil-Reyes.
Fran Mil-Reyes. Who
I
got it?
would have. That was
Tyvis's guy.
He hit 30 home runs.
Just about to say Fran Mill.
He hit 30.
That's my boy. You
But
put that bat on
Manzardo-
that ball, let's go.
Manzardo's going to join the list. I mean, he only needs one more for 25.
Where
That is so
Where is
pathetic.
Gabby Arias?
Not even close, Tyvis. Not even remotely in the
Is he
ballpark.
at-
Who's
had
third on
10?
the team in home runs?
Bro,
They got rid of Santana.
Right now?
Is it Bo Naylor with like 9?
No, it
Bull.
gotta be Gabby.
have you heard about this prospect? Somebody came up to me the other day and was like, yo, the Guardians got this prospect named Joel Santana. What do you think about
What's
him?
wrong
Oh
with
my
you?
Bull. Bull, you ready for
I
who's
don't know
se-
him. To be
You don't know who
honest
Joel Santana is?
What's wrong with you?
I don't
Gee,
know
that's
him.
mean. Gee, that's
Why
mean.
would you do this?
Listen, he's a great prospect.
All right.
He's
I
a
don't know him.
left-hander.
I have no idea who that is.
He's a rapper.
You don't know who?
Oh, he's a rapper?
He's a rapper.
Oh, okay.
He's out there.
Before we do
Could
super
have got me. I
chats,
might have said I could.
like, when he
Gee,
said
you put
that,
me in a
I'm
bad
like,
spot. What if I would have lied and said I know who he is? I was like, I never heard of this guy. See, that's how you know I keep it real. I didn't pretend I knew him. Right.
Jose is 26. Manzardo has 24. Santana, Schneeman, and Bo Naylor are tied with 11.
So the guy who's no longer on the team is tied for third with 11.
How's he doing?
11.
How's he doing with the Cubs?
Yesterday was his first game. He pinch hit and he struck out.
Classic.
And Aaron Savali made his Cubs debut yesterday too. He actually did good. Did a nice job out of the bullpen.
All right, let's get to some super chats to wrap up today's show,
He's fat,
guys.
though. He's gotten
No
fat. Good for
overtime
him.
because we're doing our fantasy draft. We'll recap that tomorrow.
Yeah.
But let's get to some super chats.
Yeah.
Couple from James Mace Jr. I'm going to read all the James Mace Jr. ones in a row. James says, "Are we sure we want Arch? He doesn't look generational to me." Coach
One
Stefanski,
game.
I know you watch
I mean,
UCSS.
if Jace after one game is saying he doesn't look generational, then obviously he's not generational.
Cam Newton was generational day one. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
James Mace also says, Coach Stefanski, I know you watch UCSS, so please do not run any jet sweeps this year. It's a drive-killing play.
Oh, they coming to tight ends too.
And the last one he says is,
one.
Joe Burrow is the James Harden of the NFL. Big numbers that lead to nothing but a first-round exit.
First of all,
Wow.
you
What are you
watch
talking
your-
about?
you
Guy
gonna
went to
watch
the
your
Super Bowl.
mouth, 'cause that's
James
my boy.
Harden.
That's my
That's a-
boy. You
that's
gonna
a
watch your
ridiculous
mouth.
take.
That's crazy.
All right, so who really would be the James
Who would-
Harden of quarterbacks then? Because
I mean,
it ain't Joe Burrow.
If I had
Josh
to say,
Allen.
you'd have to say Lamar.
It is Lamar.
I mean, you'd
right
have to say
now.
Lamar.
It is.
And I'm not putting that on Lamar,
It
but if I had to.
is.
Lamar's been the worst. If Lamar's been bad in the playoffs.
It is Lamar. I hate to say it.
I don't agree with it. I
Wow.
would, if I had to pick somebody, I'd pick Lamar. But I wouldn't say it about him.
Who else you got?
James Harden of what's the
The
name?
man won 2 MVPs.
Nah, Harden and Lamar is a lot better comparison than Harden and
That's
Burrow.
crazy.
The Harden Burrow
though.
thing is
No.
that couldn't be more of an embarrassing
Has
thing.
James ever made it to the finals?
No.
Yeah, the Thunder.
Oh, he did?
When he was young.
Oh yeah, with the
Yeah,
Thunder,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Right,
but he
next
wasn't.
up.
He was like the sixth man on that team.
He was the
wasn't
third best player, but yeah, he was actually their best player in the finals.
Oh.
I mean, not they figured him out in the finals.
I
in the
wouldn't
lead
even
up
put
to
that
it.
on Lamar yet because he's still early in his career.
And we got super chats.
It's a terrible comparison. Go
DB
ahead.
Dog 21. Gee, I purposely dropped an interception like that inside the 5 and got chewed out. Then a returner took it to the house the next play. Coach still didn't say smart play.
Tell him his coach is an idiot.
I've never heard of somebody purposely dropping the
Knock that down.
No improvement. 7568 says Bengals got DTR twice last season. Calm down. Mr. McFly says there goes Mary Kay passing around that tall picture of BS Kool-Aid again. Shout out to G in the barbershop though.
Hey, where the Kool-Aid? We got to get that Kool-Aid going. again.
James, it's over there. We could when they win. We just
Yeah,
didn't have a chance
we
to
just-
pour it out
yeah, we-
often last year. James Mace Jr. also said, I know this wasn't a topic, but Dave Portnoy annoyed me this weekend. Miss
don't watch
Bell
any of that
70
pregame
says,
stuff.
Arch catching strays. Now you say Shador was mistreated. Miss Bell says, good for the goose and ganders. Suck it up, Arch. Halim Youssef says,
Scorched earth. Suck it up.
D4L Josh said, Paul Feinbaum said, best college quarterback ever.
Yeah, he did. I heard
Halim
him.
Youssef says,
He
we are
also
giving
said
the
Texas was going to kill Ohio
Yeah, he
State.
did.
He was
Paul
wrong.
Feinbaum?
Yeah.
Halim Youssef says we are giving the Browns too much of a pass for not having Judkins signed. We need to hold them accountable. You do not have your starting running back signed. And last but not least, Craps Teacher says, Bull built a fantasy football lineup with all Ohio State players in the NFL.
All right, I'll have to think about that. I don't have time to do it off the top of my head.
Does Burrow count at quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or C.J. Stroud?
Or Justin
Rece-
Fields?
Yeah, you go with
Go Burrow.
Yeah, go Burrow.
Receivers: Garrett Wilson,
McLaurin,
Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison,
Chris
Olave.
That's a nice receiving
Yeah.
core.
Running back. I'll
Travion.
go with Travion and Judkins, even though neither has played in the league yet.
Okay.
J.K. Dobbins starting for
all right.
Tight end.
Who's the tight end?
Cade Stover
I ain't got no
for
tight ends.
Houston.
It'll be Max Clare after next year. He's gonna be a really good pro.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about it a little
You gotta
longer
go with Max.
for the
You
best
gotta go
possible
with, you gotta
fantasy
go with
team.
Cade Stover. I think he's the only one.
No good tight ends.
LSU might be a better squad.
For fantasy, it probably
So
is.
LSU, you got the same quarterback.
Jaden Daniels.
You got better receivers.
Jay Daniels.
Yeah, Jay Daniels. LSU.
right.
Jamar,
Jay
Jettis.
You got
and Brian
Jamar,
Oh,
Jefferson.
it's over.
Brian Thomas
Malik
Jr.
Neighbors.
Oh, it's
Brian
over.
Thomas Jr.
It's over.
Oh my
Yeah, it's done.
God.
It's done. Chalk it up. Yeah, yeah.
And who's their running back? Who's the best running back from LSU right now?
They only got what's the name?
Clyde Edwards.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Is he even in the league still?
No.
I'm just naming running backs from LSU.
Hey, they ain't got
No back.
No running
No
back?
backs. No back games.
Did Etienne? No, he went to Tennessee, right?
ETN with
He was
the
at Clemson.
Clemson. Okay.
And then his brother.
All right,
was
no
Georgia.
overtime. Our fantasy draft coming up. We'll post some of the results later. We'll see you tomorrow on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Peace.